your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep my graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon. Spoon.
Skidibidibidabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Kuwa. Bese kuwa, kudileo. Kuwa, kudileo.
On the spoon to get
Yes,
your
what you want?
information.
Kuwa.
On the spoon to be
Yes,
part
what you
of our
want?
discussion.
Batileo.
Spoon television.
Yes, what you want? Batileo.
Spoon radio station.
Yeah.
Spoon television.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan Tony with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon.
They say
You want to get a news
that
update, my brother,
second
to
says that the
spoon.
securities that are attacking and trying to
You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to
There
spoon.
are some specific issues that I have
Yeah.
generally speaking, these issues cut across all areas. The checkpoints in Monrovia, they're snap checkpoints based on different activities. There are some of them that have been permanent over a period of time. But if for any reason you see a checkpoint in an area that has never had one before, that would just be a temporary checkpoint due to some level of intelligence. Thank you.
Look, in India, yeah, okay, then.
Thank you. My name is Fasu Donzo. I report for OKFM. Mr. Aji, I want to know how well you are playing a supervisory role, especially on the traffic police, because over the past, I have done several recording on some of their police officers, to be specific, Vatan, to the heavy trucks, the continual trucks that are plying the street, passing through a checkpoint where police officers are sitting, and they are sitting looking at these things going after, and they will cause trouble for the life of peaceful Liberians.
Thank you, Pastor. There's Division of Labor at the Liberia National Police, like most organizations. We have the Operations Division, and I trust my deputies, and I allow them to exercise their responsibilities very well. So there's different layers of supervision in these areas. One thing I will say as it relates to your comment about bribery of the police officers, we are not omniscient, we are not omnipotent. So we depend on the community. We depend on you to help us in places where we may not have an eye. You're authorized at any point in time when you see your officers performing a duty, wearing your flag and your seal, paid for by your taxes, to record their activities. And they will always tell you that, oh, you're not supposed to report or do not report. But challenge them. You're authorized to do so. And I can tell you this much. Every time a video shows up on social media of an inappropriate act of a police officer, we go after that officer, we investigate that video, and we take the appropriate action. I think where we have not communicated properly is to come back to where that video is actually posted, to put the administrative action that has been taken on those officers under that video. But the press and public affairs, they're right here. And if you want to bear witness, there have been one or two that will come and put the action on them. And guess what? They will only put it there when you tell them, say, when you do this, go and put it there. But you're right here, it's your department. And people are saying that every time these things happen, when you take an action, please let them know by going back, follow up, and put the action. But we take your comments very, very seriously. We read them, we follow them, we welcome all of them, and we take appropriate action every time we share these kind of events. And we encourage you to continue to do so, because we're trying to improve accountability. The issue of the truck, over the years, there's been no roadworthiness inspection done. It's the expertise to do this is tied up in a legal battle, and that is with the traffic management, which is sitting at the Supreme Court. The government of Liberia gave concession for a company to underwrite this particular task. And this particular concession agreement has come under scrutiny, is at the level of the Supreme Court. So most of the functions under there are still a part of that ongoing case. Notwithstanding, we have had issues where some garages, some little garages back and forth, we've been able to engage them. We've spoken to the Freeport Authority also to ensure that some of those trucks entering to take container meet at least some standard. So we having fully commenced the roadworthiness inspection, but areas of concern are being addressed through control teams. Thank you.
Media concluded. Audience. Okay, let's start with the motorcycling publicity here.
the way is maybe for the secretary. Yeah, Mr. Aji. Bribery is a crime. Whenever they ask you and you pay, you are equally a criminal as well. Do not pay when you ask, challenge it, and try to seek redress. Also, you spoke about the helmet, the passenger not wearing helmet, and you do not have it. I didn't think you were from the Odyssey, and that's why we made sure we told people that you should have your rear view mirror on the motorcycle, that it will be the hour that is not behind your head. So when you look in your rear view mirror, and the passenger who you are responsible for, who you sign up the government to say, I am a responsible motorcycle operator, asking authorization to safely move passenger from one end to another, decide not to protect that passenger by not looking at your view mirror to see if the helmet is there or not, you will be penalized. Thank you.
Thank you. We have too much of concern in the order. Yeah, thank you. Nanda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Archie. Thank you. You know, I listen to you. I am the party of administration that God is going to Moscow. To marketing of the locality of the unity. I listen to you. Apologizing. They are the okay, and the official of Mr. Kwame have apologized. Then I think there's a country. After unleashing us in job on the protest ground, the plan and left of many appeals today, those guys start the investigation, we get to know. After power to the attorney, the state radio or no platform said with the current protest. You discover protest in this country. Not for Singapore. You discover protest. There's a reason why for any time the police go anywhere, they will come down, don't individual. A police officer killed a little child, a teenager who are in 12th grade, about to graduate and shot the child. Up to now, we do not know the outcome of that investigation. We saw you going to the headquarters of the biggest opposition political party. Using live bullets, using bullets. Today, the police have been political weapons now, and still the police are not being used for political. No, listen. In these intellectual forum, the reason why we are comfortable to come to intellectual forum is these should be places where we can freely express so that we can get understanding and education across the earth. So I wholeheartedly welcome your comment, and I think I should address it. That's the concern of a citizen. And as a matter of fact, identify himself as a member of a leading opposition party. So, as a state actor and the chief law enforcement officer, I think I owe it to the nation to answer to your concern. The first thing you mentioned was the issue at Kinjo. We are governed by law. We have our standing operating procedures, and we have guiding principles that the police are authorized to act upon. The issue of Kinjo. Look, whenever in a law enforcement action, our intent is not for anybody to lose their life. The ultimate objective is to protect life and property. and that protection of life and property go across both sides. The very officers that are there, they have life to be protected as well. And the police will act on the basis of escalation. I will endeavor to answer both of your questions simultaneously. And I will bring in what you mentioned as the attack on CDC party headquarters, what you mentioned as that, which I seriously disagree and do not call it an attack on CDC party headquarters. And the reason why I put both of them together is to give you an understanding and appreciation of the both scenarios. In the case of the Congertown situation that happened within the proximity of MTN, LSCC, CDC party headquarters, the actual engagement was at the small town community in the back of CDC party headquarters. The DEA followed a huge consignment of narcotic substances, and they followed that lead and went in a particular area to make sure they were able to seize the substances. When they got there, they came under attack from residents of small town. We're not going to be looking at proximity and assuming that when you live in small town because you're CDC party headquarters, that means a sedition. No, you're residents of small town. They opposed the DEA officer, they attacked them, and the DEA asked for backup. Before the police could even get there, there were roadblocks, tires being burned all on the road. So the police did not go to CDC party headquarters. The police went to small town. Small town people resisted, and the police engaged them to clear the road. I just mentioned here that even if John Brown is angry, he decided to block the road. He can block the road for Peter Paul, who's not part of why he's angry. Then we got to open the road for the other people to go to work. In so doing, the police engaged the protesters who have blocked the entire main road, resisting of official law enforcement function, and decided to clear the road. In clearing the road, they ran all over the rain across the road, somebody ran the CDC party headquarters. And the police main objective was to open the road for people to pass. The reason why I'm addressing the both situations here is because these were two protest actions that went wrong. In the case of Kintoro, the police started 2 days, verbal command failed, it escalated. The police pulled back until they got to their barracks and locked themselves up. That, okay, y'all go do anything y'all want to do. No. There's video evidence that we sent out there to everybody. The protesters came in, broke the police fence, entered, looted the police station, set it ablaze, went to the police barrack, looted the police barrack, set it ablaze, and started to advance on the police officers. At this point, police officers are completely exhausted, every last non-lethal weaponry they have. In the crowd, which we have pictures to show, there were 2 footages showing people with single barrel weapon that was discharged multiple times at the police. Evidently so, police officers were treated for pellets at the JFK hospital. In our use of force, when that escalation happens, where a lethal weapon is being used, and there's an imminent, immediate mortal danger on the life of the police officer who is duty bound as well to protect, deadly force is authorized. In the event, people got shot. The police did an investigation. We did not stop there. Because this is an internal police investigation handling on our own policies and procedure, we have forwarded this investigation to the civil oversight complaint, the civilian complaint review board, CCRB, and asked them to further look into it. We subjected all of the police officers to their investigation. That investigation is ongoing. It will be more independent than ours. Since I mean, the police, they trust us. So since we involved, let them look into it as well. We sympathize with the families that lost the lives of their children. These are real people wearing these uniforms. These are people who have their families at home as well. When we endeavor to come out to protect you, our first and foremost responsibility is to keep ourselves alive to be able to protect you. We sympathize with him. I have personally reached out to the Congress asking for there to be a means where the police and the community can have a peaceful dialogue so that we can have some of these things resolved. Because look, that's what made we need the police. Right now, crime is on the increase in our particular area. The drug infestation is going very, very high. So we need the police there. So at some point, we need to reconcile. And the reason why I brought this up is because on that day, where the government here alleged that a brutal attack on the CDC party headquarters happened, the officers did not go to quiet riot. They went to Baba DA. And definitely, we going with all kind of tear gas, tear gas, all that thing to go Baba DA. No, it's a routine call for assistance. In that case, the officers ran on a non-lethal weapon. They ran out completely. There were no guns in the crowd at CDC party headquarters in small town across the road for no staff, anybody else. The officers never used any lethal weapon. If you watch the video, they went to an extent where the officers started to pick up stone and throw it back. Why? Because even though they were part of non-lethal, but there was not an escalation of violence that allowed them to have used lethal weapons. And that particular action may have been outside of our use of force because using rockets may not be our use of force. But it was a good judgment call on the part of the officer to use an equal and opposite force to be able to protect themselves. So if you know the throw rock, I mean, the officer didn't go to get people to bring rock. They were the same rock out on the road and we come to this, I've been out to the rock, anybody. They have use the one that I got. Assistant General, you're funny here. Which one you prefer? Do I use the rock, use the bullet? Thank you. And I'm going to get it. So in that case, my brother, let's say, these actions are not political. They are definitely not political. The civil disturbances on that day was never targeted at CDC. It was never targeted at the Vice Congress for Democratic Change. It was never targeted at it. And I say so without conviction because we are sworn to protect lives and property. And like I said here, that will not be weaponized. Just not the better for the tell facts that is drugs that we are running behind. So the contract was an interest and they want to take ownership of it, which has got the leadership of the party. I want everybody to speak his people at home, but let the leadership tell us what is the time was directly over. But no, it was in pursuit of fraud. Behind the small town of message.
You want to know what happened in the ministry to spoon?
Yes, you want to know what's happening in the ministries, in the agencies, to Spoon. You want to know what the policymakers are doing to Spoon. This is where you get the news. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. This is the Late Night Show, Late Night Politics on Spoon. We're here tonight live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We are on Fabric Radio 101.1. And on several frequencies across the country, thanks to all of our partner radio stations that are relaying the program tonight. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. My name is Nelson Collier. We are live on Facebook, Spoon TV. We are live on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. And kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation. A lot is happening across Liberia, and let's hope we can dive into these conversations that will lift our country. Get the national discourse moving on in a very patriotic way. Because in everything we do, we all come on here every night because we want to see a better Liberia, a country that we can all be proud of. So, welcome to the show tonight. Um, I want to bring the team on, and tonight, a lot of you have been following, and usually when it's time to when it's time to talk about to open the lines, to get you to weigh in your thoughts on the different issues. Most of you will call in, and weigh in your thoughts on the different issues. One person who has been very involved with that is Ome Denua. Mr. Denua is known on the late night show for asking Vasco, where were you? Vasco, where were you? He has reached out on numerous occasions. He expressed interest to join the show. So he's going to be joining in as a guest panelist tonight as we move on with the conversation. We have a lot to talk about, but we will bring on the deputy director at the Liberia Fire Service, Emmanuel Farr. Mr. Farr will join us briefly. There was a fire incident today in Central Monrovia. He's going to give us some updates on that, and yes, and hopefully we can subsequently have an extended edition of that conversation where we can talk a lot on what the Liberia National Fire Service is doing. Since in fact the issue of fire outbreak in the country was a major concern at some point, just some time ago. So again, welcome to the show. Let me bring the folks on. Oh, okay, I see Josh is here. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Let me make this very quick adjustment here. Okay, so let me recognize a few of you. Lord Powers has joined us tonight. Thanks for joining us. He said, "Good morning, Spoon family. Thanks for the update. We appreciate you for joining us tonight as well." Arthur Gai, thanks for being here. Daniel Daniel Quilla, we appreciate you as well for joining us tonight. Madam Mariah Sando Yunatu is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Lavette Bondo, our dear sister. DJ Do, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate all of you. George Bondo is here tonight. From Kakata, Margibi County. That's where you say you're joining in from. Thomas Zion Jr. has joined us tonight as well. We appreciate you. Esther Akwe is joining us tonight. Kindly share the program as you come on. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Please share the show. It doesn't matter where you're joining us from. Kindly share the program as we talk Liberia tonight. And yeah, so let me do this quickly. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Okay. Okay. So let me get the team on now. I see mobile is setting up. Guys, thanks for joining us. Mobile, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our follower as well.
Yes.
How you doing, my brother? How was your day?
Yeah, I think I had a good day.
And how your OPS?
What OPS?
Oh, man, yeah, you know OPS me. Yeah, but yeah, again, my man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a regular day, the regular OPS, the regular ups and downs. Um, yes, so that's why it is. Every day, you wake up, you got to get busy doing something and stuff like that. But I'm glad that we're here again tonight. I see you're taking some coffee tonight. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's for George or for the folks on the CDC. You want to get hot for them. Um,
All
Mr.
right.
Din is going to join us tonight. Vasco, where were you? Vasco, where were you?
Where were you?
I'm really hoping that Vasco can come on tonight as well. So we get the conversation going on.
Vasco
Today,
keep saying the same thing, so
Josh is celebrating his birthday today. Josh has a birthday
Oh, today
today.
made man 27. I forget. Josh, happy birthday, my brother. Happy 27th birthday.
The man
George
say he's the
Widow.
oldest. He's the oldest
Oh,
guy
they
on.
making himself to be somebody who so I get a coup. You mind?
Yeah, man. So Maba, let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's hear your opening tonight as
Yeah.
we get ready to get the conversation rolling on. We are going to briefly take the fire service, the deputy director of the fire service, Emmanuel Farr. But just do your opening, and then we'll come back with the rest of the conversation tonight.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you to our many listeners on Facebook, YouTube, Radio Land and stuff. And also thank you, Nancy, for bringing me on to give some analysis and some information on our database, what unfolding in our country. But let me say this, right? Nancy, I always, like when I take the stage to talk, I always emphasize on the president, most especially. I think we need a president who would be very strong. Who I mean strong, I mean like when it comes to physical strength. I mean in his voice when he talk, let things happen. And I know people will say, we're not in a dictatorship world, we're in a democratic world. But listen, democracy has spoiled a lot of nations today. Liberia on a lot of governments. Since 1847. That's it. That would start from 1822. We come to 1847. We come all the way. We just keep naming numbers. Up to now, the oldest African country who gained that independence according to history. But what we at today, we can even afford 15 electricity because of corruption. We cannot afford 15 medication for hospital. CT scan, we can't afford it. Whole nation. But end of the day, you see, they be calling money, they need all of money. The other government person take it 2 million, 3 million. But CT scan, 3 million. You can get a second hand for maybe 80,000. But end of the day, the Liberians suffer. And a lot of, let's say the people who work in government enjoy. We keep saying that every day there will be no change, Nelson. There will be no change. And we are looking up to the president to change things. That's what I always tell my friends when we talk behind the scene. I always, inform them. I said, look, general guys, you're there for 6 months. 6 years. Don't look at 6 years to be 12 years, to be 30 years, to be 40 years. Do the job of the Liberian people. So that tomorrow you can be able, Liberian can look at you and count. They say, yes, this person do they want, do that one, or this person do so and so thing to the nation, or do they want, or make a teacher where they was. But nothing today, everybody doing what they want to do. And we're not here to come sugarcoat, to come do they want, lay on the one. From the day Liberia was founded, 1822. 1847 independent, all the way to now, we stay the same. We are more deplorable from 1847. I know I think probably from Dota coming all the way. We are more deplorable than any other president. Because everybody there for themselves. Everybody there for themselves and their family. The other person will come and preach their own gospel, meaning they heal their own criminals. But we're not here to heal criminals. We're here to say the truth. But people will come and heal their criminals. You know why? Because they feel within themselves that if they heal their criminals and our criminals say, yeah, that person in my favor, that person this. But they're forgetting to know all the presidents, right? All the presidents, majority of them, let me say this. They're all majority of them. They nothing, they lay no hand on our country. Look at the Corinth. Look at Corinth. Come on, Corinth. Nursing. Come on, Corinth. Look at Germany. Few years ago, Germany was celebrating 50 years of Corinth, not even back. Germany. But you Liberia, you get all the resources, but you only get people there for themselves and their family. Because end of the day, when you leave power, people will be like, oh, that person not bring nothing to that person, they were in power, what they did. Don't listen to what people will say. Do the right thing, and it will follow you and the children. We're not here to blame on one government and other government. If government mean when you go into election, it may change.
10 seconds, over.
Okay, no problem, Nelson. It may change, right? Change. So if any government come to power, you come there with change. And when you change, what happened? Liberians.
Thank you.
Endure.
You know, Boba. Let me say something, Boba. I will always appreciate if you were to come on the show with your mom, a cup of tea. Because when you have the cup of tea, Boba, you are different as compared to you having the red cup. I don't know. I may not be right on this, but you know, when you come with a cup of tea on the late night show, Boba, oh, you know, I will save the rest for the end of the show. But listen, let's take Josh on the show. Josh,
my man, Josh, happy birthday, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson.
I know,
thank you.
I come to post a picture and tag you, but man, I know about it.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm not too big on birthdays, yeah. But Lord, thank you. Yeah. You know, Nelson, just to start, I really appreciate you guys. And guess what? I think after President Boakai, I'm the second ardent listener to this program. Yeah. Because I think I heard that he listens to this program as well. So, but you know, I'm a little bit frustrated with my brother Morba. You know, the way Morba talking is like somebody who is losing hope, you know, and somebody who is feeling like there's still a lot of battle ahead, even though he told the Liberian people that President Boakai was the answer, which was the last bus stop. But he has now turned to be something else. But you know, I will leave that because I don't want on my birthday for my brother to come for me. So I'll just stop that fight. Just come to what I want to say today. Look, I saw the arrival of the former minister Samuel Tuwe. I saw the man who is fighting to clear his name, not a man who is dejected and is guilty. And I respect him for that. Look, I was of the conviction that he shouldn't have come to Liberia because I just felt that he was going to be a political football for this administration, and that was the intent. But I think he managed to, you know, to come, and I think that's a really good thing he's done, and it's going to further prove to the Liberian people. One of the things I know about Liberian people. When Liberian men say you buy, I don't care how you get it food, you buy. When Liberian men say you're good, I don't care they see you kill somebody, you're good. That's it. So there are a lot of people who will still think that Samuel Tuwe took the Liberian people money, $25 million, mop up, $16 billion. He alone took it, and he's, you know, he's guilty. But I think the Liberian people need to allow the justice system to take its place and to take its course, because I think that's the only thing that we can rely on as a people. And one of the things that I know about justice is that justice deals with facts, not with sentiments or the things that we believe or the perception we hold. The facts have to prevail at the end of the day. So look, I'm not here to say that Semetua is innocent. I'm here to say that I saw a man who is fighting to clear his name, and I wish him all the best in everything. I support his bid to for justice.
Thank you, Josh. You saw a man who was fighting to clear his name, and you wish him all the best. This is where we are, folks. And it's very important. Please share the program as you come on tonight. Let's hope we can have the show, the program shared in all of our different group chats. But as I told you earlier, I want to bring on our guest panelists tonight. And I see Emmanuel Fa is in the background. I will bring Fat on as well. But let's bring Mr. Denua on. Mr. Bert Denua, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight as a guest panelist on the show. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Well, Nelson, thank you very much. How are you doing, Georgie?
Thank you, Mr. Donna. I'm doing
Australia?
Good. Australia is fantastic. Yeah, it's on a Saturday morning here, and we're having a good time.
Okay. Maluba?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah. Fine. How you doing, Nelson?
Yes, I'm doing good, and it's good to have you on tonight. And we acknowledge your many contributions you make on the show, and we thought to have you on tonight. Your best friend Vasco will be joining the show shortly. And but let's hear your opening. What is it you want to talk about? What's on your mind? Just 1 minute, and then we can bring Fa on shortly.
Thank you, Vasco. My name is Bert Denua.
Vasco is not here yet.
Thank you.
You said it for him, mail. You said it for him, mail.
Thank you, Nelson.
You are sending for Vasco today.
Thank you, Nelson. My name is Bert Denua. I hail from Nema County. To be specific. Say that again, George.
Vasco say he coming.
All right. I hail from Nema, to be specific, Zoger, and I hold dual citizen in Nema County. Why did I say dual citizen? My wife is from Lower Nema. I serve the organization that they call Zole Development Association as president for 2 terms. I'm from different district. She from different district. But I serve that district as president. And if you go to Zole, you will see a hospital, a 25-bedroom hospital. I call it hospital. But people within that area, they call it clinic. I took that hospital from the ground level all the way to the roof level. I roofed everything. I turned it over to my Secretary General, Ben Mabel. Okay. So I'm here today. You know, I see the Lufens, majority of the Lufens, that the Liberian people gave birth to. Not that the Liberian people born Lofa, or not that they created Lofa, but I am saying we gave birth to a citizen, a permanent citizen from Lofa. And I see some Lofans, not all of them, bashing Honorable Boakai. I thought we from Olo County would do the same. I stopped there so far until Vasco can come.
Okay, what a great way to have you on tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's a great way to have you on. All right, so let's hope we can have the show moving on now. I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah, quickly, Nelson, let me just make a clarification here, because a lot of people don't understand when they say somebody file or born. People are thinking that someone has a physical cash of $8 million to post a bond. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. Bond is just like an insurance, you know. it doesn't work that way. So Cementor does not have $8 million to file bond. No, that is an insurance. So don't believe it. Don't think that's how it is. Because I see one of our listeners here from YouTube. His name is DJ Dew, and he said, George, tell me how many Liberians can afford to pay $8 million bond. So no, DJ, it doesn't work that way. No one has that money to pay. He did not pay that money. Thank you.
Okay, Anthony, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. You want to do your opening quickly?
Yeah, good evening to you all, and I've been very busy lately. I want to be grateful that I'm here, and we're going to discuss things Liberia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Anthony. I want us to start this conversation.
Well, Andy, how you say Nigeria? You expect somebody to kind of slap it behind your head, so you're looking around at that.
Oh, look around, my man. Nobody here. You want to see the player? Hold on. You flip the camera around before you get where they go. Hey, here.
You want now your head back on the bed. Kind of bad.
See?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is that I will have to call Emmanuel Farr. So we just talk to him briefly and continue the show because I see he's having some difficulties getting on. So
I got a question for him.
So let's hope we can have him. Because the issue with fire outbreak has been a major one in the country. To some extent, we've seen a reduce or a decline in the number of reports relative to fire outbreaks across the country. But today there was one, and let's see if we can have Emmanuel Farr coming through this line. Emmanuel, are you here? Can you hear me? Sorry, Emmanuel, can you hear me?
I'm getting nothing.
Okay, so I think you are having some difficult time coming through the video link. I see you here. I see you logged in, but it says your device is not connected. I don't know what's happening. So is it okay we speak this way? Can you hear me very well?
Actually, I really wanted to be on the net, but unfortunately, the network is very much difficult.
Okay.
But anyway, we can go through the line, no problem.
Okay, fine. It's good to have you on tonight. The Deputy Director for Administration, right, at the Liberia National Fire Service. Before coming to the outbreak today, I want you to give us an idea. It's been over 8 months since we spoke with folks from the Liberia National Fire Service, or let's say over 6 months, because I remember when you guys took over, in no time we had a conversation. The director, Purple, was here, and he came in studio, in fact, and we had a lengthy conversation. Where do we stand? What's the status of the Liberia National Fire Service now? What have you guys been doing so far? It's been pretty close to 8 months or so since you guys took over. What has it been like in terms of fire outbreaks across the country? Are we making progress? Is it reducing? Are you still having, a very huge number of outbreaks across the country being reported to you? Since sometimes some of those things will not come in the media. Just before going to the situation today.
Oh, thank you, Nelson. And let me say good morning to your panelists, because in Liberia it's in the morning, and let me say good morning to them. And thanks to the Spoon FM Network, through you by giving us the opportunity to give update as it relates to the working of the Liberia National Fire Service. If I say give us the opportunity, because the Spoon Network continues to give us the opportunity. The last time, the directors of the Liberia National Fire Service, Honorable G. Wassel Bafo, were on this platform. And today I'm here to give the Liberian people updates as it relates in the status of the Liberia National Fire Service. Nelson, as you are aware, when we took office in March, and we noticed that it was not an easy task that the president gave us. but through the help of the leadership of the Liberia National Fire Service, headed by Director G. Watson Balfour, and also I'm the Deputy Director for Administration, and Honorable Edwin Kaiser is the Deputy Director for Operations. We have been working together closely to make sure that the Liberia National Fire Service gain its momentum when it comes to the public. So the first thing we do, we started with reform within the Liberia National Fire Service, where those individuals who got some level of expertise, we did some in-house promotion because we noted that people were misplaced in the institution. When we took office, we did our own level of reform within that system. People who are qualified to serve certain position, we put them in that position, and we start moving on. And we decided to see how best to conduct training for some of our officers, some of our firefighters, and we did that in-house training to some institution called the Liberia Institution for Job Relations, provide some information training for our firefighters. So we have been moving on, Nelson Colette. So based on that, if we look at the situation in terms of fire outbreak in our country, they have been trapped. They have been trapped to the minimum because you notice certain time we took office, in a daytime we received about 10 fire incidents, sometimes 8 fire incidents. But when we decided to collaborate with Orange Liberia, because we have some partnership with them, so we created a massive awareness. We did that launch 2 months ago where we went to various schools, we went to various market buildings, and also we went to community dwellers where we inform the people about fire situation, fire safety.
So it means that basically you guys have been involved with awareness and all of that.
We have been carrying on massive awareness.
Okay, so
through the sponsorship of Orange Liberia.
Okay, so now let's talk about the incident today. At what point did you receive this report of a fire outbreak in Central Monrovia? What was it like in terms of casualty? And just give us some information around that, your response and everything to the situation today.
Yes, today about 12:30, I received a call from one John Siafa. I'm not talking about the city mayor. One John Siafa called me and told me that, Director of Fire, there's a fire incident around the Benson and Kelly Street. Right away, called the operation man and definitely he called the station 1, what we call Charlie 1. And they responded on the fire scene 3 minutes because station 1 is at Advon Street and the incident occurred at the Benson Street. So within 3 minutes, the fire truck was on the scene, and from there, another fire truck from station from S4, which is still about SK and Parker. And from there, LPRC came up with Parker because the fire was very much dense. So based on that, we set all of our fire engines to be on the scene. And we were able to see out there to make sure that the fire go off. And dwellers within that area, they were able to commend the Liberia National Fire Service for the quick response.
But fire, where do we stand right now? Where do we stand when it comes to your capacity, the fire service, to address fire outbreaks across the country? Where do we stand?
First of all, when the fire incident was alarming, we were able to work along with the legislature and through the office of the president. This government was able to allocate $1 million to the Liberia National Fire Service to purchase some fire equipment and logistics. So as we speak, the process is ongoing, and hopefully when we finish with all the procurement process, and definitely we will be ready to fight fire, because if all of those things pass, we got about
Popping off? Nothing.
Nelson said froze.
Yeah, you're not making it. Nothing self frozen. All right, guys, let
Yeah,
me take over the show now.
I think that's but oh, okay. The fire service guy on the line, right?
Yeah, but Nelson is going. That's why the guy is going as well.
Oh, okay. Probably not the network.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, I got a few questions for the fire service director, and
Yeah,
Me
until
too.
until you can come, Anthony. I mean, until Nelson can come, Anthony, I'll get your opening. That's it, 1 minute because you are not here when we
Anthony
start.
already did.
I already did my opening, but I heard a couple of things from the fire service director, and I have few questions to ask him. As it relates to the circumstances. One, it's a logistic issue. Are they equipped? Do they have the requisite logistics to
No, that's not
do
there.
their job?
Before the report, then we can give the report to the public through the
Nelson
ministry.
is back.
So
Okay.
for now, we cannot tell you what caused the fire because investigation is ongoing.
Okay, you can say what caused the fire. Okay, thank you. Guys, sorry, there was a little interruption from my end, but I think you guys can hear me now.
Yeah.
Is there any question from across the panel for fire just before we let him go?
Yeah. I got a question about that, but I know Anthony already in flight, so probably.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions
Yes,
for him.
sorry to interrupt you about Anthony. If you have a question, you can go. I just want us to wrap up with the fire service.
Sure. And the question is fire opportunity. First and foremost, Director, I want to commend you for your service to the nation. Thank you for coming on the show. One thing that I want us to talk about is your department equipped with the requisite logistical equipment that you need to do your job?
Thank you. I would tell you that we have trained fire officers that are on standby to fight fire at any time. But when it comes to logistics, the Liberia National Fire Service is lacking in terms of logistics. And you saw it during at the time when the fire was the increase. You saw on a fire scene, like for instance, when we get 5 fire scenes, you only see 1 truck. So one of the things that we are lacking is logistics. So we pray that when all of the procurement process finished, where we were able to get some fire truck through the government of Liberia, we will be fully prepared for the crisis to fight fire, because we got trained men and women who is willing to fight fire within our country. But the only thing we are lacking is logistics. We have been calling on international partners, NGO, to see our best to support the Liberia National Fire Service. The only time you can see people coming in to show concern when you hear that, oh, fire has attacked another person. Because fire is everybody's business. It's not only because you are working with fire service. Fire service is one of the institutions that is there to respond for emergency. But we are trying our best to see our best for other institutions to help the Liberia National Fire Service. Because for now, we are trying our best. We got a capacity. We got a manpower.
Okay.
We got trained officers who are willing to fight fire. But when it comes to logistics, we are lacking.
Thank you.
My last question before I go. I heard you say you're doing a lot of awareness. When you doing your training and awareness, do you involve people from LETECO or the Liberian Communication and LEC, because their wiring is a mess? Do you bring them to your training center so you guys can have conversation? Because majority of the fire problem we have in Liberia, they are poor wiring from LEC. Do you bring in LEC employees or the leaders to talk about fire safety?
When we launch the fire awareness, we have LEC part of the team. We have the disaster management team part of the team. We have the Red Cross part of the team. So it's a joint awareness that the Liberia National Fire Service can conduct most often. And
okay, thank you.
Will provide support to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just a quick one, Nelson.
Yeah, Josh.
Thank you.
Josh, go ahead.
Okay, Director, I want to thank you for coming. I want to state here for the fact, for the records, that I'm one of the guys who think you are not qualified to hold the position in hold. But look, this is Liberia. We want the best for our country. So I want you to make me shame so that I can eat my words. But what I hear from you is still trying to support my argument against you. You said in this interview that somebody called you to report a fire. What if your phone was off today? What if you didn't have power in your phone and that guy could not call you? Do you think the response that you initiated, you think it was going to still happen?
Hello?
Did you get the question from Josh?
Can you repeat?
Oh, come on. I said, if your phone was off, like you said, someone called you, reported the fire to you before you initiated the response. If your phone wasn't on, you think the response that was given to this fire, you think it would have happened timely, like it happened today?
Most often, the Liberia National Fire Service have land in 144. So whenever fire outbreak, most often the public will call the hard land, the hard land, the 144. And if they are not getting the hard land, they will call people within the institution who got the number that is on the flyers on the awareness program. So today, my friend decided to call me because he know that he got my number and the reason why he called me. And other people called the hotline and the reason why we saw the choice responded there. So it doesn't mean that, because my phone up, then definitely will not respond to fire. No, we got the hotline.
Okay, thank you.
So are you telling all the fire incident and fire service have been going there, only my number they have been calling? No, they have been calling the hotline. So I don't see any issue on that to say, if your phone can be on, how you guys are coming to respond to fire. So I don't think that question is in place.
Oh, good. Nelson, let me just give a comment quickly. Yeah, my second one. I'm not going to fight with the director. I'm not going to fight the director. I'm just here to make up to make people understand what we're saying.
Josh, we can conclude.
Director, what I try to enforce here is that we expect you guys that are in power, when you come on the radio station or you come to the public, you promote that hotline. That's what we want. If you are coming and told us that, look, we have a hotline, these are the mitigating factors we raise mitigating factors we have in place. We have a hotline, we have this. However, someone called me. We understand that. But if you say somebody called you, for the fire and then you responded, that means, it leads to, leads a question to beg whether, there is a hotline anyway, But the last thing I want to say is that I just want to disagree with my brother Anthony that said LEC pole wiring is the issue. I don't think so. I think people buying cheap wiring in their houses, that's what causing the fire. LEC is not causing fire. If you don't see the leopard tree come on fire, or you see lines that are running, in between, communities catch on fire, I think the wiring in people's houses, those cheap electric lines they buy from the stores, what they can call to say 2 for 5. These are the ones that are causing the fire. But let me just leave it as it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me come here with my
George,
question.
FCC certified, man. I see the wiring.
Nelson, you there? The caller there? The minister?
Yeah, go ahead.
The
director is in the line. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Minister.
That's the director, deputy director.
All right, thank you, Mr. Director. You've been doing a really, really fantastic job. Like, for the past time, I think since you took over, I think the fire outbreak is decreasing. But let me ask you this question: how many fire trucks you guys have within the Republic of Liberia? I ain't talking about Maserati. I mean, like, including all the counties, the 15 counties.
For now, we got 4 fire trucks, functioning fire trucks.
Okay, so can you give this?
Only in Maserati, other counties don't have fire trucks.
No.
Come in. So yeah, Mr. Director, I come in. Yeah, so the 4 fire truck we're talking about.
Yeah, so just let's listen to Moba. I think he has a question.
Let me that come in with that question. That will come my second question. I mean, the little stuff that behind it. So all the fire truck you're talking about is all in Maserati or in the county? Some in the county.
No, for now we have 3 in Monserrado, 1 in Grand Bassa County, and Nima County truck is done.
Wow. Wow. So let me just do my last question and I'll be done because it just so the budget, right? The budget of the fire service. I know probably don't want to disclose it, but you think the budget the government allocated for the fire service department, you think, or probably it can be able to solve 95% of the fire outbreak in Monrovia, in Liberia, not even Monrovia, because every day we talk about Monrovia, let's forget about Monrovia, not Liberia, other county too. Do you think so?
Like I said in my intro, I appreciate the government by giving us 1 million in terms of purchasing fire equipment. And with that 1 million, we will try our best. We know that it's not 100%, but we will try our best within that 1 million. And the legislators told us that next budget year, we will see our best to increase the budget of the fire service. But we must appreciate the government because giving 1 million, seeing the places of fighting fire, I must appreciate them for that. Because first, it was not there to see our best to have 1 million. I must appreciate it. Although it's not 100%, but at least something is there for us to pass some fire trucks for us to do the Liberian people work.
Yeah, so the 1 million. Yeah, my last question and I'll be done.
The salary included in the 1 million?
Yeah, the 1 million you're talking about. Salary included or excluded?
No. Salary is not there. It's only directly for logistics.
Equipment. All right. Thank you.
Fire equipment.
Yeah, Mr. Dino, you have any question just before we?
Nelson, I'm just waiting to throw in my talk and my questions and my topic today that I came here for. Well, he said it all, and most of you guys have come out to ask him questions. Yo, go ahead. You the young people, we are behind you people giving your ideas to ask questions, to do what you have to do. But too much of question on the stage today.
Okay.
For me to ask other people and what I feel it will not be necessary.
Okay.
I came here today especially to talk to you, the youth of the Republic of Liberia, to give you some idea and things. Thank you.
Okay. So thanks a lot. So Fa, I think it's been a great conversation. Mr. Fa, thanks a lot for joining us here tonight. Is there anything you want to touch on just before we let you go?
Yeah, nothing. Let me appreciate all of your panelists that ask all of those ask questions. And let me appreciate those who commend me. Let me appreciate people who criticize me. But I think it's the beauty of democracy within our country. Our work is to make sure to make the Liberian people proud. And there's a reason why I said we were appointed by the president. We have been doing our best 24/7 to make sure that the Liberian National Fire Service gain its momentum that the Liberian people can trust. So I much appreciate the Liberian people, especially the people today at the Benson Street who embrace us, who encourage us for our quick response in terms of that fire. We'll continue to try our best. We'll continue to make sure that we do everything possible to make sure that the Liberian National Fire Service makes some headway. And as we speak, training coming for our officers that will be going to Ghana for basic training, additional training. So we want to ask each and every one that the Liberian National Fire Service is here to serve the country. And whatsoever question, whatsoever inquiry, you can reach out to us. We are not too big to let. We are there to make sure that your recommendation, we can work on your recommendation to regain and to promote the Liberian National Fire Service. Thank you, Nelson, for giving me the platform to give updates as it relates to the working of the Liberian National Fire Service. Our awareness, we continue to carry on our awareness. We finish with Monserrado, we'll be going Grand Bassa County, Lofa County, Makidi, to create the awareness on fire safety and fire prevention. So
Thank
our
you.
public are getting those awareness messages, and we doing everything possible to make sure that we regain the image of the Liberia National Fire Service. And thanks to my dynamic boss, Director G. Waswa Platform, we continue to make sure that we work together to achieve our goal. And thanks to His Excellency for giving us the opportunity to serve our country, and definitely we will not make the Liberian people shake. Thank you very much, Nelson.
Thanks a lot, Emmanuel Fa, for your contribution tonight. We appreciate you for coming on. Deputy Director for Administration at the Liberia National Fire Service. Thanks a lot. We appreciate
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Anytime I'm willing to provide information to the platform and the Liberian people.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, folks, there you have it. Emmanuel Fa, Deputy Director, Liberia National Fire Service. I remember the conversation around fire outbreaks in the country was a major one, because almost every day there was one outbreak to the next outbreak to the next fire outbreak, and it was just one after another, till we got to this point where someone said maybe because it's rainy season, the fire outbreaks, report of fire outbreaks have subsided. Someone may say it's because of the level of work that the guys at the Liberia National Fire Service is doing. But whatever the case is, outbreaks have subsided to some extent, and this is where we are. Now, we want to move into the conversations. The president is still at the UNGA. The last time we had a lengthy conversation here, making some analysis around the president's presentation. Some of the things he said at the UNGA. Before going for the UNGA, the foreign minister of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti, she took up she took up some of her basic time, her precious time, to write a letter, address a communication to some high-profile individuals in the country, to get their attention, to get their support for this bid for Liberia's position as non-permanent member at the UN Security Council. Now, it was later when so many Liberians got to realize that the communication was not addressed to former President George Weah alone, but it was rather addressed to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, giving her role played, first female president in Africa, of course, took over in a country where there was dark days, chaos, and all of that. Liberia had just come from war. Post-war Liberia produced the first female president in Africa. She managed the situation with the presence of Omeo. Yes. One of the letters was addressed to her. One of the letters was also addressed to the former Nobel laureate, Madam Lema Bowie. And then you have former President George Weah. In response to the communication, former President George Weah took up his time, and I saw the response was signed by former Information Minister, former Maritime Boss, Len Eugene Nangbe. He signed that communication, which says that, look, this government, this president, the people in this administration are not ready for reconciliation. If Liberia should get a seat at the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member, then it means that the people in this government will have to be that representation of peace and reconciliation locally first, before even talking about Liberia going international to get a seat at the UN Security Council. Well, after everything, the communication came back to say that President George Weah, I support Liberia. I've always supported the country. But where are we? Today, President Boakai at the UNGA officially launched Liberia's bid for this seat. He's rallying support. He's been having engagement. Antonio Guterres, he had a meeting with him. You know, he's been reaching out and making sure that this thing works for Liberia. Where is President George Weah in all this? The communication, was it received in good faith? Raymond, welcome to the show. I know you're going to have your thoughts on these issues tonight. We're not talking public works ministry here tonight. Look, nobody should bring that public work conversation on the show tonight. We want our brother Raymond to be here with us. You know, he has come in peace. Let's keep the show peaceful. But where is President George Weah in all of what we're talking about? The communication, the letter that was addressed, was it received in good faith? Now that President Joseph Yuma Boakai has officially launched the country's bid as non-permanent member at the UNGA, are we going to see the likes of the former president and some of those influential individuals to whom the communications were addressed helping Liberia in this process? The bid has been launched. The actual voting is going to be next year and all of that, yes. But the lobbying starts now. I want us to start a conversation around this. And then we can end up with the next aspect. Moba, let's hear from you. Let's start a conversation with you, Moba.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, Nelson, you know, sometimes when people talk about the government, the new government, like they want peace or they get peace or whatsoever, they need dialogue from the opposition. So sometimes I sit in my little corner, right, and ask myself, which one of the dialogue they're talking about? Because the last time I checked, the only thing the government carrying on in the country is audit. And even the audits that are coming in, people have not been prosecuted. They're going through the court system, we agree, but at the end of the day, according to our sources, what happened? They will be vindicated. They will go out. They will not do nothing. They will not serve the sentence of those crimes. So that put that aside and focus on the main issue. Now, today I think we all watched a video. Madam, the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she was dancing today with the present president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, to show that unity, to show that Liberia, that support. But you get found where we are because why?
So in all of this, Moba, where is the former president? Does the former president support Liberia in this thing?
Nothing.
Has he demonstrated in any way that he supports Liberia in everything that's happening here?
Nothing.
To get a seat as non-permanent member at the UN Security Council.
The last time you brought a topic, my prediction coming to pass. I told you, I want to show you, go play that recording. I say this identical support from George Weah, it will not be possible. The reason is simple. George Weah, as long as it's not him, it shouldn't be other people, number one. Number two, the people he get around him, they will always keep diverting his mind to different, oh, don't do it. There are people after us. something. Just to make him to know that, just to put in that situation that he can, he will not be able to support. And he forgetting to know he's a former president, he's an icon. And he forgetting to know the Liberian people look up to him no matter what, or no matter whether he's president or not. End of the day, 2029, he anticipating or running. So
is this thing going to haunt former President George Weah in case he came back in 2029? You think this is one of the issues that folks will use to campaign against him, that he didn't stand by the country when the country needed him the most?
Of course, Nelson, of course. And it already start justifying itself. Look, let me tell you, Nelson, if you mind the noise, if you go in the market, you will not buy what you want to buy. The thing is simple. The people wrote the former president, right? They wrote the former president. He received the letter. While people go up, people come down, people say what they want to say. All the president needs to do is respond to that letter respectfully and telling the Liberian people that he will contribute to that identical cause, no matter what, and he will help to make sure Liberia be up there. That about 1 year from him. But you can't come and say, oh, because the country divided, nobody attacked George Weah in Liberia. Nobody attacked any of his partisans or his ministers. The people don't carry on audit. So based on the audit result, if you think it's an attack or it's a witch hunt against the former government, then I think he ready. I will say this today, I'll say it tomorrow. He ready because if only based on the audit report, or I'm waiting for George to tell me how President Joseph Yuma-Baga hunting George Weah, how did they respect George Weah, what they tell him, what the insult that the president gave him, what did they tell him? So we want to know. Next thing, because end of the day, we're looking at Liberia is the big picture among all the presidents from Joseph Jenkins Robertson to now. The only 3 presidents we have now, Ellie, George Weah, and the present president. All the other ones that were president before, what are they? They're gone. Liberia stay with me. So our loyalty should be to Liberia, not individual. Despite our differences, our loyalty should be to country. You understand? So all the team nursing, we will go up, we come down. George Weah will not partake because it's not him. That's it.
Wow. Josh, let's hear your take on this issue. President Boakai, right now as we speak, he's lobbying. He's fighting so hard. He has played his part at the UNGA. Yes, he made the case for Liberia, presented a very good speech to the people what Liberia is going through as a country, but he's still in the US. He officially launched Liberia's bid for this position today. Where is President George Weah in all this? Why is former President George Weah not visible in this process, since in fact it has to do with the country?
Look, Nelson, thank you so much. And I see my brother Mova dangling all around, looking for reasons, to say something. It was simple. The request to the former President Weah was simple. Make a 1-minute video. Did you ask them whether that 1-minute video has been, made and submitted to them? Did they not ask him to go to New York to go and give speech? They said, make a 1-minute video. That was the only request in that entire letter that we saw. It wasn't a request of being visible anywhere else. That's the thing with us. We don't follow instruction, and when you don't follow instruction, you're bound to fail. A simple request was made, and that request is what we should be asking for. Was it fulfilled? Is the 1-minute video in?
Come to think about it.
Where are they going to show it? Even if it was made, where is Lyman Bowie's 1-minute video? Where is former President Ellis Jackson Sirleaf 1-minute video? We should be asking the question, not focusing on former President George Weah. I think this is already a witch hunt here, because everyone just want to target this one man to have something to say against him for no obvious reason, just because you want to tarnish his reputation and you think that he's a threat to you in your presidency or in your quest for power. He's not. President Weah is out of the show. Run Liberia and forget about President Weah. It's simple. I heard people saying that he's celebrating a birthday is a problem again. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Leave President Weah alone. You gave him a simple request. Make a 1-minute video and send it to us. Okay. Now you should go ask the foreign minister, was the video submitted? And if the video submitted, where is it?
You read through the response from former President George Weah.
Yeah.
The response from former President George Weah, signed by the Chief of Office Staff, the former maritime boss, Eugene Nangwe.
Mm-hmm.
Just going through that communication. What did it say?
Nelson. I read through the communication, and I agree with that communication 100%. And here's why. A request was made, and the government did not wait for an official response. They saw on Facebook that people were talking about boop. the information ministry came out with a press conference saying that President, we are not nothing. We don't even want nothing from him. He won't talk not anything for us. We don't even need it. That's where that one necessitated that response. So if you come here and say because of the response, so no, the response was to what the disrespect that was made, against the former president. When somebody like, I don't know this guy, how to call his name, Donald Osando, or whether that's his name or not, he went and started saying a lot of denigrating things against a man who he cannot be a husband for. That's the man he was disgracing because they gave him information minister position that Fagbon used to hold. So he had to say all sort of denigrating things against the former president that he had said they are not peers. He was not given any right to do that. That's what necessitated that particular response. That you say you want it from me, and I have not responded to you yet, and then you get your boys from the back coming on the air and saying all these things that I'm not even, they don't even want nothing from me anymore. That's a government response. If you say that thing to me, I will say exactly what President Weah said in a communique, because it does not show a united front in the first place. Before you can be a part of United Nations, you must be peaceful first. Every time a country goes into war or country goes into any military thing, they are quickly withdrawn from the United Nations. So, look, I think the response was correct. And I think what we should be asking the foreign minister is, was the video submitted? Even if the video was not submitted, are all the videos in already? When is it required? All those questions should be asked before we can come and John beyond George Weah alone and be hunting him down, because this is complete witch hunt, the way I see it.
And this is very important. You think that the response from the former president was just right? It was just in place. That Liberia is not peaceful right now. The current government is not moving in the path of reconciling the country, and so the government should rather focus on putting a housing order before going on to anything else. But let's move to Mr. Denuan. What do you make of everything that's playing out here, sir?
Well, Nelson, thank you. Thank you very much. You see, let me go back to Nima County. Before I go to Nima County, let me say something quickly for a few seconds. I came here purposely today. I am not a public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
But let me say this publicly. And let me recognize 3 persons on the social media. Number 1, Sekou Kene. I'm sorry to bring his name here, but that's my view. We all have that freedom. Number 2, D-Flow. Number 3 is Roosevelt Dan. And number 4 is Sampton, your boss. And let me say this. If there were other Liberians today, some seditions would not be on the stage. But let me go directly to Nima County. We call something in our dialect segran, but I will put it in English, segrandism. What
does that mean?
That means patriotism. Segran is in Mano, is in Pele, is in Pele, is in Kran, is in all of the tribes in Liberia. Nursing, President Weah became president of the Republic of Liberia because of self-grandism, because of patriotism. Nobody asked President Weah during the 90s war to become somebody that would take Liberians all over around the world. When you go somewhere, nursing, they'll say, where are you from? When you say you're from Liberia, the first person they ask for, or the first person they ask, you from George Weah country? That there where patriotism and self-grandism comes from. Why bring in self-grandism? George Wader, when President Weah was taking Lone Star around, that what make him president today. That what make him former president today. When President Weah was coming, the former football legend, when he was coming in Liberia, people used to go and welcome him, and he stayed popular today. Self-grandism, patriotism. I saw President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf today. I saw her. Where is the self-grandism coming from? Where is the patriotism coming from? George, welcome, Vasco. Where are we? I came to ask you people one question today. And thanks to Opa with a spoon for creating a platform for all of us, for Liberians. Where are we and what we want? And where were you? So all those things, Georgie, if President Weah, he's a peaceful man. He's a legend. He's a footprint of you guys. He made you guys. Where is President Weah today? Even in our country, self-grandism, patriotism play a role. Are you a patriot? Is Nelson a patriot? Is Moluba a patriot? Is Vasco a patriot? Where are we? Where were we? How we got here? Nelson, I was crying today when I saw that old lady going to almost 90 some more years, standing there. Lehman Bowie. No, Wither, Georgie, even if they tell you, make 1 minute video. If you have that country at heart, forget about what CDC will say. You started it. He started it. Since 50 years ago, we have never obtained that seat before. It was the bound duty of the former president, His Excellency George Manuel Weah, to put that self-grain, to put that patriotism in his heart and vomit with water, not with blood, and go to New York. Yes, since President Boakai took over, he and the president have not spoken. That there were that peace, that unity, that self-grain supposed to come together. You see the old lady holding king, dancing with the president. Your thank you very much. Your thank you. Your thank you very, very much. And thank to Opa Edezana Witherspoon for creating a platform to be for all Liberians, for him to have that patriotism, that patriot feeling, that our water when we drink from the creek, to have that in mind, to welcome all of us on this platform to share our view. But look, comes 2020 now, what will he say? He started it. Why he couldn't end it because of other people? He's a former president of the Republic of Liberia. We have 4 or 3. Charles Taylor, he's in here. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is there. George Weah is there, and we have the present president. Is this the way we have to put our country on a map? He put us on a map.
Thank you, Mr. Denwa. Just this is very important. Sorry, I had to establish a few things in the background.
No problem.
So, Josh, just for the sake of our audience, President George Weah did not, and I can confirm to you from an authoritative source that President George Weah did not honor the communication. Neither did he do any 1 minute video up to press time. So, and the next thing is that the bill was officially launched today. President Barker officially launched that today. But even as we speak, the communication was not on. So, I mean, if you take a look at everything that happened today, for example, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not just honor the invitation, did not just honor the communication, but what did she do? She was there today. She was there. All right? Just her presence. But let us move to Raymond. Raymond, your take on this conversation tonight.
And want to welcome all of our listeners, wherever they are, and also our guest panelist tonight, Mr. Denwa. We've always heard your contribution by means of the phone, but it's good to have you here today. And I must say, all of your input are quite objective, and even your analysis tonight. We wish we can have you all the time. It's good to have the old head, as they say in America, among us, the young people, to guide us, because you have a wealth of understanding and wisdom that we're trying to follow suit. So it's always good to have you and your contribution. Like, I would pick up from where he ended, patriotism. That should define us. And our orator for our July 26th spoke. That should sink deep into the hearts of every Liberian. But unfortunately, it seems that some of our brothers are loyal to a leader than the country. Whatever he does is unquestioned. They have absolute faith in him as if he's some form of God. The letter that was written to President Weah was the same letter that was written to President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And the Lema Bowie, the Nobel laureate Lema Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Lema Bowie wasn't in attendance, but she sent her video. But because of the United Nations protocol, it could not be played today. And she sent her an apologies of not being there. Unlike President Weah, who didn't send a video, didn't do nothing. And that shows the lack of patriotism. But let me share with you all, they did not start with President Weah today. When President Weah plays soccer, and we hail him, every Liberian hailed President Weah. When he made some bad decisions, and it led us not going to the World Cup, Liberians got angry. And some Liberians were harsh to him with their words. What did he do? He discontinued his membership and his participation on the national team, went on radio and bashed harshly every Liberian who spoke negatively to him, not understanding the sports he was partaking of. It's a passionate sport. And most times things go haywire when they expect a win and a loss, and they hold those responsible. We know what happened to other Africans. They lost their homes and other property. He didn't lose anything. It was just made worse. I know President Weah. He feels he's a god. When it doesn't suit him, he tried to undermine. The same he's doing currently. The lack of patriotism. The fight against corruption that he should be supporting. If his hands are not dirty. But he's calling it, he's undermining the fight against corruption currently and calling it witch hunt.
Raymond, a letter is addressed, a communication is addressed to the former president, and he uses the time to express himself. Wasn't it prudent enough for former President George Weah to look the current leadership, the current government in her eye, and say, you want me to get involved with a process that has to do with peace, a process that should put Liberia on the map, but this is about peace, and your house is not in order? Don't you think former President George Weah was more like telling this administration that you're witch hunting me, you're putting my guys in jail? At this point, some of your guys are even going on the radio and making derogatory comments, towards me. They are disrespecting me on the radio. And so, unless you can put these things in order, we cannot be talking about peace. Don't you think he was being objective, fair enough, to just speak to what the current issues are in the country?
No, he wasn't. A leader see a bigger picture. And the leader personal sentiment doesn't matter. Insults to leaders isn't an issue. Let's consider President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Yeah.
How many insults the CDC did not rain on President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? Not just her alone, but woman who. Should she have any enmity with anybody in the CDC? That's the mark of a leader. The leader should be above the average. But when the leader doesn't show such, that's not a mark of a good leader. And what comes first to a leader is the purpose. Who benefits the nation, the image of the nation? Liberia served this role before. It's not going to be Liberia's first time. We did it in 1961. We're just about to repeat history. And the benefits that come to Liberia for this, that puts us in the place that other government will have to talk to us because they expect us to push their interests. And that comes back with benefits. And we're in dying need for development. We're in dying need for finances. We're in dying need for a lot of other things. So that puts us in a unique place. And that's why he initiated it. And then while initiating it, he's turning down to undermine it. And who told you Liberia was at unity when he launched this thing? No, never in the tenure of George Weah were at unity. In fact, his own words were bashing the current president. His own words. Currently, we're not hearing the current president bashing him with words. He was calling the current president ungrateful, going into his medical records on national radio and TV. At the time he was launching this bait, and he's trying to claim all these other things, that tells you he's dishonest, he's a narcissistic, and he's not a leader.
Thank you. I want to hold you there, Raymond. Let's come to Vasco a bit. He's been sitting on quietly, trying to make his input, trying to make some analysis internally before coming up. Vasco, this is where we are. President Boakai has been out there, and I'm going to play a portion. I'm going to play just a little clip from that presentation. But the president is out there, and he's making the case. He's telling the rest of the world that Liberia is that country that have managed herself over the years. And it's important for you to give Liberia the support. I mean, he's trying to make the case for Liberia. But the concern is, where is former President George Weah, the peace icon, the peace ambassador, the man who represents, who is more like the face of Liberia? You go out of Liberia, like someone said, once you talk about the country Liberia, they say, oh, George Weah country. Why is President George Weah not seen at the forefront of everything that's happening here? With Liberia getting a seat as non-permanent member at the UN Security Council? Vasco, is there any justifiable reason here? We've been informed reliably that he did not attend, now that he sent a single video. Now, I want to play this. Josh, I know you want to come in. You will say what you want to say. Right after I play this, then we'll bring Vasco in. Just a portion of this.
Liberia takes pride in being one of the founding members of the United Nations. Even further, Liberia was a founding member of the precursor of the United Nations, which was the League of Nations. It is also noteworthy that Liberia produced the first African female president of the United Nations General Assembly and the second woman from any nation to head the General Assembly. Having played a significant role in the establishment of the United Nations in 1945, Liberia embodies the principles and aspirations of the United Nations itself. Our commitment to peace, security, and human dignity is enshrined in our Constitution and reflected in our actions on the global stage.
Josh, go ahead. You watched the video.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson.
President
Look,
trying to sell
it's,
Liberia.
it's commendable. I think before him, thousands of people have done the same, including President George Manneh Weah, who also sold Liberia so many times, even during our war. Mr. Weah sold the country. At least Joseph Saliva as well. Everyone did their part. Everyone has this.
Because it's a serious disturbance for us. Yeah, your environment is like you upstairs or something. So
Yeah, it's not stormy here. Can you hear me now?
okay, we'll manage with that a little. Yeah, but just take few. Yeah, just take.
Yeah, let me just be quick. Look, we can't have our cake when we eat it already, right? President Weah want to come into the country. Oh, he's not president anymore. Nobody more go meet him. President Weah want to use VIP. No, he's not president again. That's how to use it. But when it comes to going to the United Nations to appeal for Liberia, they want him to take what he must move the president from there. He must get it and go talk. Man, people, you leave President Weah alone. This president that will have, let him do a part. Let him play a part. Forget about President Weah. He's a former president. He should be in the back. He should not even be parading the street again. According to people saying, he should not even have birthday party set. You leave the man alone. You focus on your government. Let make sure that the government can represent Liberia. The Liberian people put their trust in President Boakai to lead them and to do everything for them to make sure that they are successful. Not President Weah. Leave this man alone. Let him live a private life in peace. Please, that's what we are appealing for. Because now it's becoming like you guys are just targeting this man to find news stories about him, to do other things about him, because he's not doing anything to you. He's taking a step back in the background when he's sitting down here. You go ahead and lead the government. He's not going there and telling the person you don't get in the seat. No. Then you'll say he's sabotaging it. How he's sabotaging it again? Because he not go there? That he's supposed to go there? No, you are the president. You should be going there. You should do the work. Don't allow President Weah to come and do the work for you. It is disgusting, guys.
Is there anything wrong? No, Josh. Is there anything wrong with former President George Weah being the UN peace ambassador that he once served as, being a symbol of national peace and unity, former president of the country, soccer legend, when global. Is there anything wrong with him doing
there is nothing wrong with him being the icon that we know him to be?
Going at the UNGA and helping to rally support in the interest of Liberia.
Nelson, if you want the help of someone, you cannot be insultive to the president. You cannot insult the president. This government has insulted President Weah more than any other thing. By going and say he's useless, they don't even need anything from him. He can go and sit down. The same government is down. You are saying the same government that said that thing to him, because the mouthpiece of the government is the information ministry. They say they don't need anything from him. So you cannot be insulted of the president. Then you expect the president to go in front and take your president from there and go sit down there and say, "I supposed to do the thing here." No, you will say, "President, we want to overthrow him." Let President Boakai go and talk.
Vasco will come into you, but just one question to Josh. Josh,
yes, please go ahead.
If Liberia misses out on this opportunity, do you think it's going to be good for President George Weah? Will history judge him right? Will he be recorded on the right side of history?
Okay, thank you, Nelson.
Would Liberians look him in the eye and appreciate him for what he has done, or and reward him with their votes?
Nelson, I think if this bid is not successful, it falls flat on the feet of President Boakai. He is the president. He is the one that is leading our foreign agenda. He is our spokesman as Liberia, as a country. He is our head. If he fails to get this, it falls on his lap. Not President Weah, former President Weah. Former President Weah is not making anything happen because he's not the president. The president we have now, when President Weah started it, when he went to the United Nations to talk about this same seat, Boakai was not there. Was Boakai there? No. Boakai was in Costa basement playing, and how to call it pool. Like playing what in the
That's what
basement playing
I
pool.
don't know where you're coming from.
You were not close to the UN United Nations. He was not there. Waka was not there. So George Weah started. If Waka was not there, Waka
Thank
can
you.
go. George Weah is not there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mobile, let's take Mobile quickly. 20 seconds, then we'll bring Vasco in. Mobile, go ahead.
Look, I listened to my brother Josh, right? It's just funny to say because Senator Johnson said something, so the president will not come out or make a video. Look, let me say this.
That's Senator Johnson.
No, but he emphasized on that. He said, what they respect to the president. I mean, the former president. He included that. But I just want to emphasize on that. But let me lead that, right? Look, if even George Weah probably having to go over there or not, if it were meant for Baka to win that identical seat, Mayweather, it's good. For Liberia to be on the map, it's good. But today, we see people defending individual in the country. It is sad, Nelson. People worship individual their country. How many people? Look, sometimes I just sit down and say, but Joe, we need to probably go somewhere that open your own place where people just go and bet and kneel down to him.
But this action, do you think it's going to hunt President George Weah?
It was hunting. What? It was hunting. That'll say, no, let me tell you this. It was just a trap. It was a trap for George Weah to accept or not. I know my brother will come.
But why sell a trap for someone?
Because, like when you want to catch a fish, you put a bib on the hook and send it. Right?
No, but then if that's the case, then the whole thing is which it shouldn't be.
And now George Weah fall in the trap.
That this process should not be political because it's about Liberia's interest. It's about what the country stands to benefit. Like Raymond said, Raymond made a very profound point on this. The space that Liberia is going to be in as a non-permanent member at the UN Security Council. This is what we
Nelson, as long as it's not George Weah, let me tell you, the whole everything started when George. It started. Let me conclude. The whole everything started when George Weah was playing for Lone Star. If it's not George Weah, it shouldn't be nobody. And you will see a follower, he worship up, will come here and say what they want to say to back him. But they forgetting to know the nation, Liberia will remain, George Weah will go. We all will go, Liberia will remain. If I lie, to that Jiggy Rao, Stephen A. Benson, that come down over to Charles Taylor. Where are they today? But Liberia still standing.
But thank you. Let's hold you.
But you see, watch people will come and watch him. While they go watch him, while they carry all it. You think that George Weah being the poor, not carry all it? They were all it.
I want to hold you there more.
They say that they respect George Weah.
We'll bring you in, but let's take Vasco. Vasco has been sitting for a very long time. Let's hear his thoughts on this issue. Vasco, go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. And let me say hi to you guys and hi to our listeners. So it's a big shame on all of you guys that yelling with George Weah name tonight. My man, mute yourself.
Please mute.
It's a big shame. I know some people scratching their head, people listening to us tonight that shouting with Weah name. So you're trying to tell the people on the world tonight that Weah is the obstacle of Liberia missing on that seat. That is why you guys trying to say tonight that if Weah don't do a 1-minute video, or Weah never went to the UN General Assembly to speak like the way Madam Sarif did, former President Madam Sarif did today, then Liberia will not get a seat. But I want to let you people know that if you really read the statement that came from President Weah told you he support Liberia getting that seat. He made it clear in the letter.
Then where is the video? Because saying you support Liberia getting is one thing, and demonstrating your support is another thing. Vasco, are we saying one thing and doing another thing here?
That is not the prerequisite for Liberia to get a seat for George Weah to do a 1-minute video. That is not it.
But do you believe that it can be one of the contributing factors?
I mean, that is not it. We have told you that the video is not important. We have told you this is the man that set they paid for Liberia to get to where it is today. We is the one that set everything up. And we are told you clearly that if you want to obtain that seat, there are things that you need to do as a government. Go ahead and do it. You cannot be out there crying. The United Nations is the deal with peace. You cannot be out there telling the world that Liberia is peaceful, Liberia is, we are together and this and that. And we all know that the country is not the way you're saying it out there.
How is the country? How is the country not the way
the
he's saying
country
it?
is divided. And this is why I don't want to hear. The country
Divided
is
in what
divided.
sense? In what sense? What informs the statement about the country being divided?
Two groups. There were a certain group of Liberians still look at George Weah to be their president. If you don't know, there are certain.
Vasco,
I'm telling you.
Vasco, wait, Vasco. You said certain group of Liberians still see President George Weah as their president,
Seriously?
and they don't see President Boakai as their president.
As their president, you know that.
Who do you see as your president? Who do you see as your president?
I see George Weah as my president.
So who is President Boakai to
I
you?
listen to George Weah more than me
No,
listening.
I'm coming.
And that's
Vasco.
the reality, but y'all don't want to listen to it.
No, Vasco, let's do this.
Because
who is President Boakai in this case?
President
Is
Boakai is the president for Unity Partisan. And that's how he's running the country.
Come on, man.
President Boakai is not the president for
you own
Nancy, don't you own my time. I want you to give me my time.
Vasco, you can't be doing this, man.
But Nancy, it's sedition.
My man,
But
that
see-
go make movement for George Weah, putting on the worshiping George Weah. Because the whole left, it won't George Weah.
Nancy,
brother, please.
You live in different world.
President,
You look at president.
when George Weah came to the presidency, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had Unity Partisan all over the place. Did George Weah dancers or took anybody from government? No. George Weah created avenue for other people to get on the payroll that they will benefit at least something from the cake. But when Boakai came to the presidency, what did he do? He took a sedition. Poor people. That because the poor working with Java's going to
You know, yeah,
He took them out.
let me come in a bit, Vasco. We're discussing the UN Security Council thing. The president, President Boakai, officially launched Liberia's bid today. And the question is, where is former President George Weah in all this? Why isn't former President George Weah seen in this whole process? Why isn't the former president visible in everything that's happening here? What are the consequences for him as former president of the country who has some political intention come 2029? Is this action in any way going to harm him as we go to 2029? These are questions we're asking. These are issues that we're making analysis around. But if you want to go to the aspect that has to do with maybe this government downsizing people, and because of that, the country is divided, what then will you say about the harmonization policy that cut the salaries of struggling Liberians, and some of those people were disenchanted? Look, Vasco, to some extent, someone sitting somewhere watching their TV or listening to the radio now is constrained to believe that both actions, one way or the other, have some level of similarities. And so maybe that's something we should brush over and go back to actual talking point.
No similarity. Let that one of them kept everybody at their job. It kept people working.
Cut the salary.
So what are you people doing now? Saying George Weah can't cut people's salary, but you can't take people from job. So who get a greater pain? At least I was earning something, but you keep me took me out. Who suffer? I cannot afford anything to pay my children's school fee. But I go to the U. Let me tell you, Nelson, this your government is not even ready. Today, that program, that thing today, President Boakai did call Liberia launching their bid. Nelson, who you saw at the program today? The people that are supposed to help Liberia is the African Union and ECOWAS. Before you plan no kind of an event, there should be leaders from ECOWAS and the African Union, because these are the people that's supposed to help you, Liberia, to get that seat. But what you saw today, Cherry Squad, President Boga took almost 75% from Liberia. So what they were saying over there today. You go talk to yourself, to your own people, you're talking to them. You say you go launch a bid. Who are you speaking to? Are you serious? Are you a serious government? Before we could get to where we are today when it comes to the seat, President Weah wasn't passing around looking for people to go talk for him. He was lobbying with leaders around the world. European Union, you heard him. He said, oh, people already, they came to one understanding that we will support Liberia for this seat. That was what President Weah was doing. Today, you were launching a bid. Who you invited? Who? You saw anybody from ECOWAS? You saw anybody from the African Union sitting over there today?
Look, maybe I think maybe we should try to get on that aspect. Maybe we should try to get one of our panelists on the show. She's in government now, so she's not active on the show. Maybe we should get Karishma, because she was at the launch today.
Nobody was there.
We should get her.
Nobody was there.
I can't say much on that aspect.
Nelson,
let's hear you. You want?
No, Nelson, let me conclude now. This
okay,
thing,
this
thing was on the executive marshal page. It was live. Did you see anybody from ECOWAS or European? The people
all
are
right.
serious.
Vasco, thank you very much. Vasco, thank you. Thank you, my fellow citizens of the Republic of Liberia. Vasco, just hold on. You see, when League of Nations 4 and United Nations activities came in, it was built around the American government because they don't want their citizens to be prosecuted in any other country around the world. They stood and fought for their democracy. Liberia, during our Cold War from 1939 to 1945, we were there putting America, if you hear about VOA, if you hear about the other station in Liberia, that there where it came from. Vasco, if you are fighting for yourself, you surround yourself, your very self, with your local people. President Weah did it correctly. He spoke to leaders around the world. They came to Liberian aid and gave this, how you call it, agreement. They gave the promise. They made promises to the Liberian government. If it is not President Weah today, it should not be President Boakai today. Vasco, the Liberian people gave you, they birthed you, Vasco. They birthed you. I don't know which part of Lofa you from. I'm from Zegle. Where I came from.
I'm from Zolowo.
The Sion Debo in Nima country. Yeah, you call me rebel fan. Yeah, I'm rebel. I'm from Nima country. What I'm trying to say here is this. What we are saying logically, what we are saying here is our former president wasn't around. Our former legend wasn't around. Our former peace ambassador wasn't around. It's not about Joseph Boakai today. It's not about Boakai. It's not about President Boakai. I come in Vasco. You always come here. You never one day, when you call Honorable Boakai, President Boakai today, are you saying the man that came from your country, your brother, your father, are you saying he's not your president?
I'm from Sierra Leone.
Next thing I say you couples of being a patriot, being a self-grant. If you can put few of those patients that are been sending you, Look, Vasco, you from Lofa. One day you will go to Lofa. When we made our quota, you never come here one day to talk about the 128 millions plus that President Boakai fought for, negotiate, including his ministers. Never one day. Vasco, the solar plates, the $210 million are coming nursing. The $210 million, your own man from Lofa County, the president, His Excellency, Joseph Numa Boakai, talk about just the few days. The Google team that coming to Liberia. Look, forget about. You see the Southeasterners are coming.
Name the team. One
you see, are coming, Georgie. Are coming, Georgie. I beg your way. You see the Southeasterners.
Mr. Dena, let me come here a bit. So what we're going to do is, everyone have had their own share of the time. We're going to give 1 minute across the table.
Okay.
We're going to give 1 minute across the table. George is going to have his 1 minute. You're going to take your 1 minute. Raymond 1 minute, and Vasco as well. And then we'll go to the phone lines.
Excuse me, Nelson.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. You see the Southeasterner?
Yeah. I'm coming. 1 minute. Raymond, did you want to throw in something quickly, or you want him?
Yeah, right after him, I want to throw something quickly.
Let everybody just take that 1 minute because
all right. You see,
everyone want to
Vasco, you see the Southeasterner? When all of them voted for George Weah, we the Nima County people redeem your county, give the presidency to your county. Where were you? We have 2 vice presidents.
Why are benefiting Nima County?
Okay, I come in. We
Vasco.
have 2 vice presidents from Lofa, and the second vice president have become president today. Vasco, where were you? Vasco, where were you? We gave birth to you. Where were you? You'll leave the government by next year, January. For those of you who have not seen quota in your home, quota will go there. For those of you family who stay in the bush, they will come off for quota for them to see quota for their very first time. Vasco, where were you? Where have you been? Open your eyes. Nelson, thank you, man. Thank you very much. I came here today to look, Georgie, you in Australia. It's the former president on the street. He's in his home. Look at Obama today. Where is Obama? Liberian. If I was a writer, I would write, what do we want and how? Thank you very much.
This is very important. Interestingly, Raymond, I know you want to come in. George will come in. Boba will come back. But Vasco, I want you to reappear. Vasco, can you reappear? Okay, thank you for reappearing. Vasco, I want you to take your 1 minute right after Mr. Denoa, and then we'll bring Raymond and George in.
No, I just wanted to make a statement. Everybody here spoke twice. I haven't spoken twice. I just wanted to make a correction. We keep calling President Weah UNICEF Peace Ambassador. He's never been UNICEF Peace. UN Peace Ambassador. He was UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, and that was in 1994.
Well, thank you.
And after that, Mr. Denwan, let me say thanks. You spoke passionately, but you see, to be cultural is something that comes from deep value and understanding.
Will take more than 1 minute.
You can't instill it in anybody.
Thank you. I want to hold you there, Raymond. Let's go back to Vasco. Vasco, take your 1 minute, sir.
And Mr. Denwan, you see, his story with George, people like you are one of those that damage our country. You understand? We told you people from the early stage that this man that you are talking about, that you're trying to impose on the Liberian people, this man will damage their country and send the country backward. And this is exactly what has happened. You elected a man that don't even know what he's doing. Look at the country today. Everything you spoke against, these people, they are doing more. They are doubling even what you said the CDC government was doing. Since your government came to power, can you name one of the successful things that you have done correctly? Even to declare asset, you never declare asset the right way. They gotta tell you, say you made mistake when they go by and do it. You bring drug tests. How many government officials have taken a drug test? I can always tell you that the president didn't do drug tests because I know how they can do drug tests.
Have you done drug tests before?
Yeah, everybody know you come to the country to get up. Sending George gotta go do drug tests. The camera on the president. I will always say the camera on the president when he enter. He sat down to that same place, and they put that in and say, "Oh yeah, the president will do a drug test." How? We know they can do drug tests. So everything about this president is everything just lie. He went to the General Assembly. Everything he said, if everything was lies.
Nelson, just give me 2 seconds after he is done.
No.
After he is done, just 2 seconds.
Yeah, but let's allow Pascal to
You people
land.
are our fathers. You people that know Liberia. You people that have lived that long time that we praying the gospel we can reach to you. But you're not making a rightful decision for our younger generation. How can you look at President and Boakai? How can you look at Boakai to go make a leader when advanced nation looking at our people at that level, telling them, say, no, we cannot continue on you. You go look at that kind of president, made the president.
What's the age?
So I just want people to stop. Y'all take the noise from our ear. Y'all start making noise in our ear about, oh, President Boakai don't want to listen. He don't even know what is happening. How will he listening?
So,
they may not understand what happened in the country. They say they remember take decision.
Just to close up with you, you said a country like Liberia,
yeah,
be making someone like President Boakai president.
Yeah,
the age factor. What's the age of the U.S. president?
Joe Biden. Joe Biden is older than President Boakai. I think Biden is to be there 80 or 81.
But then where do we stand with the argument that President Boakai is old and he can be president?
Nancy, you know, I don't want to go in depth. You ask me the question, I will say some things. Maybe you don't want to be on the show.
Okay,
Joe,
no, it's not supposed to be.
Body is normal. Body is a normal person.
No. Listen, Vasco.
So the question you asking me, body normal.
Let me erase some checkpoints here. You know, and you can sanitize, you can refine.
Vasco, you strong, Vasco.
Okay, I will refine
your data and everything.
I will refine.
Why are we responding to this question? And I'm asking you this question because you brought the age factor into the picture.
Yes.
You are saying to the Liberian people that when somebody past 70 plus or pretty close to 80, that person, other countries then doing something else with that person, then I'm beginning president again. And then I ask you the question, what's the age of the US president?
If
it's a sophisticated society like the US, it makes someone at his age president. Where do you stand? What exactly is it that support your debate about the age of the current president of Liberia, President Boakai?
Nancy, all I would tell you,
that debate even survive.
All I would tell you between the two, one is normal and one is abnormal. That's the difference. I don't want to go far. One normal, one is abnormal.
And again, I don't know where you're coming from, but anyway, we'll have to hold you there. Remo, you want to come in?
Thank you,
Nelson. When you said 1 minute, did you mean 5 minutes, or the sense of time has been thrown out the door?
Because I gave you like 30 seconds. You know, so
he is the moderator. He can make any rule, man.
I look at it.
Guys, let's do this, guys. Raymond, you have your time. Please make your point, sir.
I look at
Yeah,
the time
go ahead.
exactly when you asked Vasco to speak, and he spoke for 5 minutes plus.
My man,
So
Nelson is a moderator. He can give anybody time that he wishes. You're not going to ask for anybody permission to give somebody
can we be
time that you
disciplined and speak at
just
our
go
time?
ahead.
No,
Can
guys,
we be
guys,
disciplined and speak at our time?
We are disciplined. But you guys
You should not
doing
even
this to look like as if
you should not even be on the show because you're in a background that is not even show worthy. So you should not even be on the show with your background.
If your background is windy, so it's kind of wow. Raymond, yeah, take your time. Take your
Again, let me say that Vasco spoke for 5 minutes when he was given 1 minute. Let me first clear out the comment you made when I came in saying that, oh, we're not going to talk about Public Works Minister. I work closely with Samuel Twe when the 2 years I work in the CDC-led government. I haven't come to speak in his defense. There are many other persons, including Amin Moder.
You said Samuel
Of course.
You mean the former finance minister?
Of course, I work closely with him. He knows my name. I never came up here to defend him. I'm being objective in my love for Liberia. The things I know, I won't sit on the show where people put a spin on it. So it's not about knowing or not knowing. It's about standing up for the truth and speaking on the truth. And I know so much about the road sector to sit here when people do not know and put a spin on it when I can't say it. So that's just about it. Even Amin Moder, I know him and his entire family. You never hear me defend him. So my love and my being on the show is to defend truth and what matters about Liberia and not about the people that I know. Let me go further. We're discussing Liberian support to our country's common interests. Nobody needs President George Manneh Weah to win this bid. When Liberia won this bid in 1961, he was nowhere around. As a matter of fact, when his 6 years of his presidency, what international goodwill did he attract to Liberia? Who did he sway? What is his sway in the Committee of Nations? Nothing. George Weah don't have no permanent friend in the Committee of Nations. We don't know no war leader that's a personal friend of George Weah or that he is able to attract goodwill from them. It's just an optics of unison, nationalistic spirit, wantonness. And he's a former leader. Currently today, the government of Liberia still pays President Weah. He still benefits from being a former leader. So he owes it to the country as a responsibility. Lema Bowie, what have she benefited from Liberia? She will also call. So it's not about without Lema Bowie, Liberia can survive. But to whom greater is given, greater is expected. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf never supported this current leadership. But it is not about pleasantry. It's about call to duty, national duty. Wasn't she there? Is she and President President Barker best of friends? I won't say so. In fact, with her, she was trying to support another candidate against him. People who were supporting President Barker, she called them to sway them over to another side. That news came out. But leaders do not take things personal. They look at the general good, the objective. Who benefits Liberians and the nation as a large? We want to develop our nation. We want to take our country from a least developed country and put her to an acceptable place. And these are the ways to do it. If Liberia become a member, a lot of other nations will want to have a voice. Liberia will be sitting on the table. They will have to consult with Liberia. They will have to lobby with Liberia. And in doing so, we'll attract goodwill. That's why we stand to benefit. And let me just say, George Weah never lobbied war leaders. The way it works is like Susu. Liberia served that role 1961. Since then, Liberia hasn't served it. It goes around, it comes around. There will be a time they'll say, okay, it's been a while, you haven't done it. This is your turn. And that's why I was coming to Liberia. Since then, and Liberia is a founding member. You know how many African countries Liberia helped to become independent? You know how many African leaders flew with Liberian passport when their country were in chaos? We're safe haven to many African leaders when they were going through their struggles. Because of that, Liberia is respected. You know how OAU got funded? Like Liberia support and Liberia participation?
I mean, how many minutes you get it, man? How many minutes you get it? Because I let you honor.
Why you disrupting? That's being rude, man. Be manners and stop disrupting your colleagues.
Guys, let's do this. We are gradually trying to wind down.
Yeah. So no, but you gotta tell your panelists you don't disrupt another person.
Yeah, but let's do this now, guys. Let's
on the show.
Let's do this. Raymond, take your 30 seconds to conclude. We bring Josh in, and then we'll go to the phone lines.
And so the notion that George Weah started this, when President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was president, we hosted a colloquium for women in our country. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf headed the world white sector. What did George Weah head? That the Committee of Nations gave him a responsibility to be the head of. FUSA. Why? Because he lacked the capacity. George Weah is good for doing nothing other than soccer. And you mentioned today that the current Deputy Minister of Information is no match to George Weah. Only in soccer. Any other capacity he has seen George Weah by far. George Weah can be his match. Only in soccer and film. Working for money in the real world, where he and George Weah can apply for any job, George Weah will never get a job if they have to sit interview and apply anywhere for a job. So y'all get it straight. Other than film and soccer, George Weah is nowhere.
Thank you, Raymond. Josh, you can take your 1 minute, 30 seconds. Then we'll go to the phone lines.
Look, Nelson, thank you for this show. It's been a good day, and I'm not going to allow Raymond to spoil my birthday because I got to go and party. So all that thing you're talking like get tabata for me, I'm not going to listen to it. What I just want to say is that look, our lives that we lead as individuals leave a mark or legacy. And we can all sit there and denigrate one person to say they ain't worth anything. God created each and every one of us for a purpose. And those purposes in our life will be met before we can, go to the great beyond. So I'm not going to come here and denigrate anyone to say, oh, you don't know anything, or you don't worth anything. I think we're all for a purpose. The reason why we are Liberians is because God has a divine plan for us and how we will affect. I never knew any time in my entire life that I will sit down in my living room and speak to maybe 100 people. Now I can. And through the instrumentality of Waterspoon. And I want to appreciate the network for giving us this opportunity. And we don't want to misuse it by coming here.
Even though you call for the shutdown of his station.
Guys, let's do this, man.
Did I hear mosquito sound, or what was that? Did that mosquito?
Guys.
Even though you call,
so the thing is,
you know what?
Nelson, you gotta mute this guy.
You never saw George.
Guys, we have to go to the phone lines, guys. Please.
Yeah, but Nelson, I'm still talking. You can't allow this guy to disrupt me, and then you say, "Go to the line." I haven't finished.
But George, you're preaching. I don't know.
No, I'm not preaching. I'm going to the point. I'm going to the point here. I'm going to the point, Nelson. I'm late.
Some of the political preachers we have in the country. I don't want to call names right now, but no scripture reference. I don't know where they say.
So let me just conclude by saying, Nelson,
on the phone line, can you just give me 10 seconds, please?
So we can
please, I want to answer to
they met too tribalistic without giving no time here again.
We give you seconds. Yeah. But Josh conclude so we can go to the phone line.
So Nelson, look, if there's anyone in the world who has benefited Liberia more than anyone else that ever lived as a Liberian, is George Weah. He has benefited Liberia more than anybody in this world. That's why it's evident by when you go any part of the world, when they ask you where you're coming from, The person they recognize to be that person in that country is George Weah. And that's a star. That's the quality of a person. That he can be a representation of an entire nation without even having PhD or being a civil engineer or being anything. That particular quality of a person, we need to thank God for George Weah, for God giving us a person who is selfless. He could have naturalized anywhere in the world, and he will be wholeheartedly. Ghanaians say he's a Ghanaian. They say, yeah, we need Opon. Opon is Ghanaian now. They will tell you that. And then we are here, we are denigrating him because of our own political acrodasma, whatever we want to call it. Nelson, have a wonderful show. I will be here tomorrow night again. I think we need to put sense into our people that, look, George Weah has the right to do what he wants to do, regardless of how you think or how you feel. If he doesn't want to do anything, he will not do it, and still he will remain George Weah. If he wants to do it, we gave him the right to do it. Anything he wants to do, he's free to do it because he's a free man. Thank you, and God bless you guys. I've still got to do my closing anyway, but I'll just leave it at that.
We'll go around to do the closing. We will definitely do that, but the folks are calling now. Let's give them some time. Hello, you are live on the show. Okay, 0555-101075, 0555-101075. I'll put the WhatsApp.
Hello.
Hello, you are live. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Sion. I respect everyone's view, and I wish that Liberia would go to where we wanted to go. But one thing I want to give everybody is that we should not take individual or country. In the understanding that the Deputy Information Minister gave us information, and then we counting the former president's voice over the Deputy Information Minister, I think that should not be right with our country. Because
you think people should condemn the deputy minister?
No, that's not that. I think people should appreciate or hold the deputy minister responsible for what information he gave to Liberia, because he served a position that Liberian gave him. And the former president is now out of the picture. So somebody who is standing in the picture now giving another identity would be the best way. That if he's wrong, he identify his position and then tell Liberians that they may shouldn't have done this and we should deal with it. Because the former president, I think we have a former attached to his name, and we have somebody holding a position who is in that space. So if you are there, you should do it better.
Thank you very much, my brother, for your input. Let's take another person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Okay, I'm Exodus Wopla calling from Kawa, New Jersey.
Exodus, let's hear you, sir.
Okay. So I've been following the show and listening to some of our brother comments. About George Weah. Sometimes when people saying things, it can get to some of us. There's our current president, Joseph Nima Bouaka, who has, for the 2 years experience in government, what was the contribution towards the former president George Weah when he was ruling his year? Why he contributed to George Weah? George Weah has the right to do what he want to do. And George Weah, the name George Weah is the greatest name within Liberia. So this current government or this president need to respect George Weah. The same president want to deny George Weah from using the VIP lounge. And then now he wants George Weah to make his government, to be popular or to make the government to be successful. They got to do it with respect, not to always denigrate George Weah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your input. Hello, your name and where you come from?
This is Matthew Kuwa Jr.
Matthew, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I think this is not about George Weah nor Joseph Bagara. This is about our country.
Yeah.
So I think if I was former president Weah in this position, that is about Liberia, I will go there and represent the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, hello, I'm Clark Mo. I'm calling from Lower Magdivi.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Brother Nelson, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate the topic on the discussion. This country is a country where we love so much and want the betterment of everything in our country. But you see, some people are attached to individuals, loyalty to individuals than their own country. And my old man that in the studio on the platform, what he's saying as a as a citizen, you have to be patriotic, not to base your argument based on individual, based on your feeling about somebody. No, we are saying Liberia, we want our representation on the United Nations
Security Council.
board. Yeah, but you can't take the individual business like the country. You are not patriotic. You are not loving.
Thank you.
So we pray that platform will be used to transform people ideas, or people will get ideas what to do.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
listening.
Thanks a lot for your input. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hello, Nelson. My name is William. I call you from Fargo.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Nelson, I want to be real with you tonight. Nelson, I really not understanding or not really, let's say, I don't know how can I place it, but you kind of be like biased on the show tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see George and how they call him and Vasco kind of being insulted to people, most especially Vasco being insulted to the president, and you not restraining him. If others do it, you will kind of calm them down.
What exactly? How was he insulted? You want to make specific?
Bro, you can't tell your president he's not normal. How does it make sense? And George here, the first person you call for the fire service, George firstly disrespect the man by saying the first in the man is not qualified. If I start saying all kinds of words to this guy, but the guy did not take it into account. They got let it be. So I'm just saying this to say this show is for everybody to listen to it and to take something in. But if those guys come here without them getting mind for Liberia, they getting mind for individual, this will not really make some of us to learn sense on this show, because every day we listen to the show and we call and they give our contribution. That's having to be good. They say they still not do it in a day too as well. If somebody called to contribute to the show, maybe they are against what he's saying, he turned them off. This is something necessary for us. If you say this show for Liberians, take everybody a voice into comment. Tell them if they are not right, then they say, "Oh my brother, this one you say is not right, but this is how it's supposed to be." But you can turn them off.
Okay. Your points are well taken. We appreciate your contribution to the show, your feedback, and thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. So let's take another. So we'll take two more calls and then just come back to do our closing. Hello? Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Frank Kova calling from AB Toboro.
Kova, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to say something like maybe you being like one era, like renting, and you went to the landlord saying that I want to move in a particular room, but the person in the room, they are not ready well, and treating the area fine, all that thing, and the landlord make a way for you to come in. Then you, the same person, going back to the landlord, say, call the person and tell him to screw my pop up. So you think that person will be able to come back after telling to the landlord to come screw your pop up? That be honest. At least, a president, we are dead body. But just continue your good work and make Liberia better tomorrow for everyone. Don't you got to criticize all around the world to make people see different.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll take the last caller. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. You're live. Let's hear you.
Okay, so this is Bamian Sherry from this is everything Molukan Unexpected.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've been following the show. I appreciate you guys for the conversation. But these things is not about we are. The reason you see the Liberian people make countries because they need changes. Anything happens, we are in the same year. It's going to be president we are eating. It's going to be Joseph Bogan. Where is the 45 year experience? When you left the 45 year experience, everything we see, people were running Bogan, things are going away. Joseph Bogan been in government for a long time. He had a lot of experience. So today, Joel will be the cause for when everything go wrong in the country today. Joel will be the cause for everything to be wrong.
My man, 45 year experience. Now suddenly they can put in bed and be going around with you the way you asking for the 45 year experience.
The experience is there. You have to use the experience. The experience. So what is experience there? You have to use the experience to do everything you want to do. That's the reason that people make the changes.
Thank you.
So people should be coming here and be blaming Jawia and for anything that go on wrong here. No, Jawia is gone. Joseph Bogan is here to make it better for us. So please, let the man alone.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Lots of calls are still coming in, but we are pressed for time. We have to wrap up now. So we can do our closing. We can go around the table and do our closing. Mr. Dino, you want to go, or you want Vasco to go first?
No, let me go because it's time for me to go take a nap. I have to make 3 points, 3 or 4 points before I leave. How many minutes, sir, please?
You have 1 minute 30 seconds.
All right, thank you, Nelson. Thank you. You see, there's a saying in my dialect. You see, crab that we eat.
Mm-hmm.
When you cooking crab, it never done.
Josh, are you?
It is the same way that nobody built on a rock.
Okay.
You see, President Weah, when President Weah gave a gift to President Boakai, he came when President Boakai went to ELBC or somewhere and spoke. It was a time Costa was in the lead. He said we should collect money and give him back the $2,000 back to Elwin Snow. 2, during the inauguration, Nelson, the old man, the heat make the old man to fall. Even you and somebody in conflict, you have to turn around, touch the person with the love. He never did it. He took plane, he flew out. He went. Mr. Boakai is a father of all of us. You think Mr. Boakai would be like everybody? Let me set an example on your boss man, Spoon TV. George Weah fought the Spoon Network. Today, I see all of the seditions on Spoon. And Vasco, let me give you the unique part of our government. There is no auditor being killed in Liberia. And we have justice system. Samuel Tuer came yesterday or day before yesterday. He put in for his bond $8 million or $8,000, $8 million, $8,000. He walking free. And Samuel Tuer is praising the justice system, the pure democracy today. 3, your government, Vasco, from Ganta to Secretary, it was estimated for $15 million. They gave $5 million. And when you sit down, you take picture. Ganta to Secretary, you take the picture and placard it all over on social media. Where were you, Vasco? Where did the money go? Vasco, I will advise you today that go back to Lufa and go to Wologisi. Let the people put some sense in you. Excuse me for that expression.
No, Mr. Dinwan, let's do
I come in. Let's say I just joking with this man. Go back. I just joking with him. Let's say I just joking. That's my son. I just joking with him. Go back there and wash yourself with Wologisi water and come back here and tell we the Nima Kande people that you calling me rebel. And tell you, thank you for making us who we are today.
Thank
Nelson, love for somebody is different than love for a country. President Weah should have been in New York today. He did wrong. Lord tell him he did wrong. Lord look at him and say, Mr. President, forget about they for nothing talking on social media and built our country. He's a legend. He's a peace legend. He's a football legend. He's a human legend. He's a young people legend. So all of us put our hand together and build our country. But to end, when we build our quota going to your hole, you will never drop on our quota because we're liars. We don't know nothing. Yeah. Nelson, thank you very much. I salute you all. Next time I will come and we'll talk real politics. Thank you. Thank you very much. But Vasco, you not see my, let me take off my hat. You not see my face, right? Tell Nelson to send you some of those pictures I'm sending Nelson so that you can follow.
Or you can just hold on. You can just hold on. We'll all leave together.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Vasco, you can do your closing.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. You know, one of the best things that ever happened to Liberia is George Weah. And today I feel so sorry for the United Partisan, the people who say all kinds of things, bad things, negative things about this man today. They are here crying. Why George Weah ain't go to New York? Hey, why George Weah ain't go to the one? But you guys got to forget. Your information ministry, they just came out. They said it, man, it's not important. They don't need it, man. They don't need it, man. Why you expect a man to go to the New York? So you can disgrace him? The man told you say he support you. He set the pace for you guys. You go ahead. And that's it. Nobody, the people who sort of made George Weah president are all sedition. None of all get problem whether George Weah go to New York or not. None of all get problem with that thing. We the people that's supposed to make George Weah president with sedition. Nobody will hold George Weah responsible why he didn't go to New York, because that is not his work right now. Everything is on this government. If Liberia don't achieve what we're supposed to achieve, we will hold President Bouaka responsible for the manner and form in which he's running this country. And the OSA, the United Nations office in Liberia, they are monitoring, they are looking at the way they're running the country. And I always hear United Partisan talking about, oh, we're happy now, no auditor dying. You know why no auditor dying? Because the people that have been killing the auditors, they're in power. The killers are in power. That's why you see nobody passing.
Come on, Vasco. Come on, man.
But that's just it.
You know,
people were trying to make our government to low ugly. They were all over the place. They had target. These people had target. They were targeting people that want to kill.
Okay. So Vasco, let's take your point for once.
The killer in power.
No. Let's take your point for once and try to digest it a little.
Yeah.
If the quote-unquote killer is in power, why was the killer killing? What was the reason behind the killer killing when the killer was not in power and had absolutely nothing to do with what was going on in there? Why? What would be the rationale behind that? What does the killer intend to achieve?
Simple, Nelson. And give me a chance. Let me lay it off for you. The killers, that are in power right now, they were the one taking their ballot picture from all over the world, posting it on Facebook. What they were trying to portray, they were trying to tell the outside world that our government.
So which picture they take from around the world? Because you talk about Gifty, Lama, and all the people that are in the country.
I mean, the top ballots, people that got killed or died naturally in other countries. They took those pictures and put it on Facebook and said that George Weah come kill people. You understand? Those people went to the international community. They were here lobbying for sanctions, lobbying to pin our government back to the international war. So they had target. They can't just go and kill anybody. They had to kill people, somebody that will
come on. Vasco, that narrative doesn't sell. That narrative doesn't sell here. No.
Nothing, but that's it.
It's not backed by any fact or whatever. No.
For me, that's what I'm saying. Everything I say, that's
okay, now your view.
They don't
Now your
rep
view.
but that's
Now your view.
so,
But
I know
thank you, Vasco. My technical team, my technical team is signaling to me now that we have to shut down. And so I want to just get Raymond to come in. Raymond, you can take just 1 minute because I'm being signaled to by the technical team that we have to shut down.
Let me apologize to our listener.
I'm here. I'm here as well.
Let me apologize to the listener for the irrational comments made. We should be saying real things, but some things we say, when you hear my apology. You know, cultism is when people are devoted to an individual. And there's no wrong and right in that individual. Anything the individual does is right. That's cultism. And that defines a reaction from a labyrinth setting. President Weah don't have the sway to make Liberal win his seat. As a matter of fact, he got no influence over any world leader or any country that has a vote. But what Liberia has to do as Liberians, we have to do something called patriotism. Everybody who criticizes him is criticizing him because of his lack of patriotism, not because of his ability to make Liberia to win. The government only asked him for a 1 minute video. But what the other people did, they went beyond the 1 minute video to show up. George Weah could take Liberian people money, fly in private jet, go watch his son playing World Cup for 47 days. Liberia begged to be a member of the United Nations that would benefit Liberians, poor and rich. That's not a priority to you, Liberian, and you say George Weah can do anything he want to do well. We realize that the guy we are chance in our country. So we are chance as your reality. That's fair. But for us who are well-meaning Liberians, we belong to no person. No one Liberian is better than any other Liberian. As a matter of fact, we are all equals. People play a role one at a time. We see it as a national duty to be a good citizen. And a good citizen has responsibility to his country. Want to respect the rule of law, to respect fellow Liberians, to hold the values of the country and the interests of the country above all other. And if you can't define yourself as that, you're not a good citizen. So I'm urging every Liberian who their devotion is to an individual to repent and become Liberian first.
Are you the newest John the Baptist? Are you the newest John the Baptist?
The reason why our country is where it is because the Liberian
mindset. How many minutes you giving the man?
No.
The Liberian mindset.
Not interrupt Raymond. Raymond conclude. 20 seconds.
Please mute him because you muted me when I was trying to interfere. But I see your mic still open.
George is already muted. Go ahead, Raymond. Go ahead.
Let us realize that our country comes first. Devotion to one person, the person you're devoted to. He has 6 years. What transformation he brought to the country? Fusa. Our country went from worse to ridiculous. People die without accountability. The president himself, when 2 persons die, cops were formed. He came up on his church pulpit, that demonic pulpit, and said they were having man and woman business in the car.
That's a church pulpit.
That's demonic.
No, Raymond.
Nothing.
Like the people get you get any evidence of that pulpit being demonic, Raymond, please.
This is the evidence. When you come and lie blatantly, no lie is in God. When you come and lie from a church pulpit, that's supposed to be a church pulpit, people who lost their family members, and you come and give flimsy excuse. And you're the first to say it. That's how people determine cause and guilt.
Thank you.
The person who's guilty want to give an excuse first to take people's attention from something. And that was the president's own mouth. That tells you that George Weah Haynes is in the depth of the auditors because his own utterance. Any signed investigator doing an investigation will start with him.
Thank you very much, Raymond. And just to say, that statement about demonic pulpit represents Raymond's view and his view, and not the view of the show. That's Raymond's view. and he takes responsibility.
So it represents the teaching of Jesus. He said, "By their fruits we shall know them."
If God coming down to strike people for classifying his holy pulpit as demonic pulpit, Father God,
Nelson, I'm using the word of God and the
Nelson,
teaching of the
can I take
Bible.
my time, please?
The Bible
Man,
said, "By their
up and down,
fruits
man.
you shall know them." Someone who lies on the death of people from a pulpit, it has to be demonic. The presence of God can never be in such a pulpit. Someone who stole the Liberian people money. Someone who's very promiscuous. Someone who insults elderly and say he preaching from a pulpit, that pulpit has to be demonic.
Thank you, Raymond. Josh, today is Josh's birthday. I don't know whether Josh wants to do an official closing or whatever.
Yeah, I want to close. I want to close. You see, Raymond run away. He ran away because he knows all that Tabata he been talking here are coming to debunk him. But look, I just want to ask our audience to forgive Raymond. Today is not a good day for him. And the government that he pleaded for to bring to power is performing desperately. The only thing that we can now boast of in the country besides paying salary is the police booth that was built at SKD Boulevard Junction that is no longer there. It has been destroyed by motorists because the first thing, they didn't even have the slightest idea that car could hit that thing and it will be gone. They didn't know that because they had no idea what they were doing. This is the government that the people in the country are hungry. Raymond is here talking about demonic puppet. You know the demonic puppet that they want at the back of the house. They built it recently. That's a demonic puppet.
My man, we're not talking puppet. This show, the not puppet show. I beg you, take puppet out of this show.
Okay.
George, we want to say thank you for your closing.
Oh, but let me close. Okay, give me 30 seconds. I just want to thank the audience, for giving us ears. And look, you can decipher for yourself what you want or what you think is true from what we say here. We will bring our opinions forward and you will choose what is good for you to pick. But a lot of things here tonight, especially the ones that are coming from Raymond, are not anything for you to pick among. Just have a wonderful time. It's my birthday, so give me the time. Let me just say, have a wonderful day, and God bless you. God bless Liberia.
Yeah, so on behalf of the late night show, the late night team, we want to say a special birthday greeting to you, Josh.
Thank you.
You are one of the strong members of the team, and your contribution here stands out. And like all of the other panelists, you come with your own flavor to the show, and you will withstand even when the comment section is hitting on you so hard, and sometimes maybe the things you see there, are far from what you expect. But we appreciate the fact that you're here contributing to the show. I believe we all love Liberia. That's why we're here. We want to see our country. And so, on this occasion of your birthday, we want to say happy birthday to you. The entire team, the guys are in the chat room. They want to come on. But unfortunately, I'm telling them that technical team is signaling to me that we have to shut down.
Yeah, we got to go. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Imagine Charisma coming on to tell you happy birthday as well.
Happy birthday, Georgie.
Don't let that get came here. Don't let that get came here.
Celebrate your birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Charisma. Congratulations.
Happy
thank you.
Okay, thank you too.
Thank you.
That's my first time on the media.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But Nelson, tell your boss man the only gift I want for him March 8th, 2025 is to give me spoon. That's all I want for Centrum.
Oh, I want golden spoon. We send it to you.
No. The only thing I want for my wedding from Centrum, from Opa, is to send spoon.
Thank you.
My wedding. That's all that I need from him. I don't want nothing from him.
Thank you, Mr. Dino.
Thank you very much.
Pascal, you want to say something? Just
I mean, wish my brother happy birthday. And I want to say welcome to Charisma. Welcome to the United States. I hope you're having a great time. Enjoy your stay here. And we pray that you guys take our country to where we want our country to be, because now you are a government official. People that think we
Exactly.
government, but once this government do the right thing and what we expect for them may happen, our children, they are still in Africa, they will benefit. We always say this, yeah. But in a much this
No,
government
it is shocking. It is shocking that as soon as Africa go on the show, your two have changed. Your two have changed. Vasco,
Wait, Delcy, hold on, please. Hold on, please. Vasco, how you doing, y'all? How you been? It's been long. I haven't seen any of you for a long time.
Charisma change the man too, eh?
I said that thing before.
My color confusing the man, Delcy.
I know.
This government. If the government do the right thing, that's it. And the Liberian people benefit. But if the government is not doing the right thing, we will come here and criticize them. That is what we're here for.
Vasco, how you been?
Yeah,
you gotta take me out, you know. You gotta take me out, my man.
Vasco say your children's school fee in Lofa. Government don't need to pay people's school fee.
You wait, you're in North Carolina. You gotta
how far is it? Is it that far?
Come to Charlotte, we'll take you out.
So yeah, Karishma, I know you came in at the time when we were already leaving. But you want to say something just before we
it's good I met my brothers online. I met Vasco and George. You know, today Liberia launched her bid to the United Nations Security Council non-permanent seat. And this is for Liberia, for every single Liberian. So I hope Vasco will be supporting us in the process. George, this is not about party. This is about country, love for country, and putting our country back on the international stage where decisions are made and we are part of those decisions, especially for some of the situations we see going on in the world right now and how Liberia can play a part in peace, stability, and also making sure that all humans are respected and no one is left behind. So it's a good thing I met Vasco here today. Vasco, my hands are here.
I know.
So you can support us. And George, the same thing. So you can support us because this is us. This is our country. That's why we have different political views, which is everybody right. Yes, that's true. But when it comes to us pushing our country, it shouldn't be about the party. It should be about country, love for country. And this is something that I look for, especially I speak to a lot of young people, and they are excited because, you know, Liberia had this seat before in 1961. We had it for 2 years, 1961 and 1962. That was the first time we ever held the non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. And this is our second time we are going to have that seat. I can guarantee you, with every Liberian pushing this agenda, we will win that seat. And we will be there to be part of the decision-making table. But I just wanted to say that this is about Liberia. This is not about political party, political view. This is about taking our country back to where we used to be before. Liberia used to be on the international stage where we are there to make decisions. So
thank you.
When you go back to the AU, you see that the first meeting of the establishment of the AU were held in Soninkole, Nima County. It's just that we put our mind on most of the negativity part of our country than pushing the role our country actually play when it comes to the international level. And which is true, 14 years of war took us back, yes. But at this point, we can still rebrand. We can still push our agenda for our country and see how best we can be a voice in our region. So I'm looking up for your support as well. And I'm sure you know that Liberia produced, there has been only 4 female that have been president of the United Nations General Assembly, and Liberia produced the first female on the first female president of the United Nations or General Assembly, and we can do it again and again. But if we put our hands together as young people pushing our country for the positive things.
Thank you.
So now
when you come to church late, you can't raise son. We just give you small time to raise late son, But again, we want to say congratulations to you. We were all here on the show. We had folks from different political parties in the heat of the elections.
Okay.
We play our respective roles, and you're one of those who is now answering to the call to national duty, and we want to officially say congratulations to you, Karishma.
Thank you.
On your appointment as Assistant Minister for International Organization at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And we can only wish you all the best, and pray that you make the young people proud, like our brother Sheikh Sharif at the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication. I met him just the other day. We had great conversations. Same thing. We're glad that you guys are out there making contribution to the country. The nation building process is all of us' responsibility. And we say thank you again. And yes, I hope you'll come back. When you're watching the show, when you see Vasco going high on the golf, just appear, the momentum will change, because that's why
the man either can't take me out. The man shouldn't give no excuse and say they play far. Vasco, I'm in New York. You my part time and can't take me out.
I was actually coming to New York, but we changed our plane. Now we're coming to protest against you.
I know you see my face. Yes, yeah. You say you can't protest again.
Yeah, we changed our plane.
Vasco, you saw the chocolate face and say, "We want you to do better, right?"
Yeah, everything
yeah, we changed our plane. We were coming. Seriously, we're coming. We said no. This is
so go do what?
I think it's been a great show.
Vasco, what you are going to do?
Don't allow
Thank you.
To go
okay, Nancy, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'll come to your office.
Oh, Vasco, you're not taking me out?
No, I'm looking at you. How long are you here for?
Come on. No. That one, man. Let's talk it off. Let's talk it off. But I want to appreciate everyone. Mr. Denwan, this was your first presentation on the show. Just coming on as a guest panelist. You've been coming in, making contributions, but we're glad that you came on for the first time. Just because you got angry at some of the things Vasco will say about your girlfriend, we appreciate you. It's been a great time having you on. Vasco, thank you. George in the background, and Karishma, we appreciate you for coming on briefly.
Let me ask one question. Why you put George in the background? You want to bother me?
Josh playing PS. The man playing PS on his birthday, so I want him to be in the background. So I want to say thanks to our audience, thanks to everyone. It's been a great show, and bye-bye to everyone.
All right, see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.